This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Preston Field, home to Bulldogs football since 1929. The venue for tonight's game as we kick off the third week of the 2021 season. Bulldogs taking on the Cougars of Hazleton area. Here's the starting lineup for the Cougars. At the tight end, number 11, Christian Price. He is a 6'1", 190-pound senior. Ramon Abreu is the starting left tackle. He wears number 54. 5'11", 220 pounds, a senior. Leo Kelly starts at left guard. He wears number 62. 5'11", 245, a senior. Christopher Sachs is the starting center for the Cougars. He wears number 56. He is 5'7", 210 pounds, a senior. Sam Porro starts at right guard. 5'11", 265 pounds, a junior. And the right tackle, John Valdez, 6'3", 215, a junior. This is the big rebuilding part of Hazleton area's team. The entire offensive line, tight end, new to the starting spots for this season. So the amount of success they have will probably be dependent on that work in progress, just how that line holds up, particularly against a good Berwick defense here this evening. The Cougars probably have the best duo of wide receivers that the Berwick will face all season long. Connor Shamani wears number 6. He's a 6'3", 180-pound junior. And Matt Casadas, number 4, is a 6', 170-pound junior. Combined, in a shortened season last year, they had over 70 catches. Each had 4 catches and a touchdown grab against Berwick in their 30-25 win over the Bulldogs at Harmon Geist Stadium. The quarterback is new to the position. He did not throw a single pass a year ago. Number 14, Tyler Wolfe. He's 5'11", 170 pounds, a junior. So far on the season, a little over 50% of his passes complete, 22 for 41, 262 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The running back for this Hazleton area team, Matt Bookman, the younger brother of head coach Dennis Bookman. He's a 6'1", 195-pound junior. So far in the season, 19 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. He's also caught 3 passes for 47 yards and a score. Did pretty well against the Bulldogs last season. 88 yards rushing and a touchdown in that victory over Berwick. The fullback, when they use one, will be number 10, Ryan Matthews. He is 5'9", 195 pounds, a junior. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars under Dennis Bookman in his second season as head coach. They come in with an 0-2 record. We'll check the starters for the Bulldogs when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
It's the Labor Day sales event all month long, so that means you can get a fantastic deal at Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And between their 2 locations, they have whatever car, truck, or SUV you're looking for.
Find it at Fairfield.
Stop in and take a look at the newly redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Ready for on- and off-road trails with plenty of room for people and packages. Drive home a brand new 2021 Jeep Renegade, just $25,700. Or how about a 2021 Ram 2500, just $47,500. Check out their ad in the Web Weekly this week for more incredible deals.
Find it at Fairfield.
Stop in and see the Kaiser Boys on Route 405 in Muncie or Dan Goldman on Route 11 in Danville. Fairfield for fantastic deals.
Offers on select vehicles for qualified buyers only. Not all will qualify. Must finance through Chrysler Capital. All offers end September 30th. See dealer for complete details.
Find it at Fairfield.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick High School marching band under the direction of Anthony McDonald entertaining before the kickoff to Berwick Hazleton area football this evening from Crespin Field. Here's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs. The tight end will see number 4, Spencer Kishbaugh, 6'3", 195-pound junior. We'll also see number 8, Tajee Taylor, 6'3", 200-pound senior. The left tackles, number 73, Gavin Cunningham. He is 6 foot, 210 pounds, a senior. Liam Carroll starts at left guard. He wears number 78. He is 5'8", 190 pounds, a sophomore. The starting center is number 65, Bruce Hartman, 6'1", 215, a junior. Chase Shuckers starts at right guard. He's just a 9th grader, 5'11", 220 pounds. The right tackle's number 70, Xander Unger, 6'3", 265 pounds, a senior. The leading receiver on this team so far is number 7, Dre Wilk. He is a 5'11", 175-pound junior, 7 receptions on the season for 39 yards. We'll also see number 6, Rowan Slabinski, a 6'3", 200-pound junior, and number 20, Braden Boone, a 5'10", 145-pound senior. The quarterback for the Dogs is Matt Lunzinski. He wears number 12. He's a 6'1", 205-pound junior. So far in the season, he's completed 41% of his passes, 12 for 29, 77 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. At the running back spot, fullback number 16, Aiden Mason, 5'11", 212-pound senior, saw his first action last week against Crestwood and played pretty well. 12 carries, 62 yards, and the Bulldogs' lone touchdown of this young season. We'll also see Benny Noor at a tailback spot, 5'11", 190-pound senior, has caught a couple of passes for 20 yards on the season. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs under Carmen DiFrancesco in his 3rd season as head coach. 11-9 his mark at Berwick. Overall, 163 wins as a head coach, 106 losses. His 25th year as a high school head coach. Also spent time at Cardinal Brennan, Shamokin, Danville, Mount Carmel, and Upper Dauphin before coming to take over Frank Sheptock here at Berwick. So it's the Bulldogs against the Cougars. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, in the keys, Jim, we know that Berwick, is able to run the ball pretty well. They've established that last week, and it looks like as things move forward, that's going to be a big part of their game. And we know that Hazleton can pass the ball very well. The key, I think, is each team has to step up to the other side, their area of deficiency. Berwick has to be able to pass better. Hazleton has to be able to run better. And whoever can show that improvement significantly in this game, I think, comes out the winner. Now, let's start with Hazleton. Yes, they can pass. Tyler Wolfe's a good quarterback, experienced. He has tremendous receivers, in particular Connor Chamonix and Matt Casatis. These guys are good. They've proven against very good teams. Put the ball up in the air in their direction. They're going to make the catches, and there's going to be yardage in that passing game. But can they run? They have not had the numbers. They have some talent. They have a real good running back in Matthew Bookman. He's the coach's brother. He proved last year he's a stellar running back. But his line doesn't have a whole lot of experience. And against the very tough teams they faced early, they just weren't getting much done in that running game, just 26 yards a game. Bookman needs to get it going behind that young line who needs to create some holes for him. He's 6'1", 195 pounds, as you've mentioned. He has speed, move, vision. It's there, but this young line has to learn. Now, they've been learning at the School of Hard Knocks in their first 2 games, but can they turn it up here against Berwick? It's going to be a challenge because Berwick's defense has proven to be rather ferocious. You heard Coach Bookman's talk about how they do fly to the football, and they do. Up front at defensive tackle with Hartman and Blockus, they're very strong. You get to the ends, and Hacker and Tajee Taylor, they're very impressive. And the linebackers, well, we talked earlier, Jim, they're really good. They're really good. Tristan English has found a home at middle linebacker, flies from side to side. Adding the outside linebackers, I don't think you can find a better pair than Spencer Kishbaugh and Benny Knorr. So Hazleton has its works cut out to establish its running game. I think they need to get that balance in there, or Berwick's just going to, pretty much stack the defense against the pass. And they feel that they can match up pretty well with that. They put on a ferocious pass rush. They had good people in the secondary. They feel they can match up well enough if it's a sort of a one-sided type of defensive look, just playing the pass. However, turn it around. Berwick proved it could run the last game. Ryan Bankus looked very nice against Southern. Aiden Mason looked awesome in the second half against the Comets. I think the running game's going to be there. But the passing game is just 38 yards a game. That's not enough. They've been throwing an awful lot of sideways passes, and things haven't worked well. They've been meeting some defensive ends, like Tyler Berlitz from Southern Columbia, who gets that end rush and gets the hand up and takes that type of pass away, and they haven't really worked the downfield game. So I think Carm DiFrancesco plans to try to get the vertical passing game going, have Matt Lonzinski throw it deeper downfield. They have talented receivers, Dre Wilk, Braden Boone, Benny Knorr from the slot, who can go deep or short. And I think the other thing that they do have, and the thing I would look for, and Carm DiFrancesco kind of confirmed it with a nod in my direction, keep an eye out on the tight ends. The tall receivers in Taji Taylor and Spencer Kishbaugh. Run them vertical down the seams, loft it up for them, and let them make some catches and try to get that passing game on track. So we'll see how it goes. Both teams certainly can go with their strengths. Hazleton with the passing, Berwick with the run, but they need the balance. So whichever team can improve on that other half of the offense, I think is going to have the edge. Both teams rely on very sound defense. Both teams count on their kickers for points. But can Hazleton run the ball? Can Berwick pass the ball? Whoever wins those battles, I think, wins the game.
And they went through the starting lineup for Berwick, and I gave Dre Wilk and Rowan Slabinski as wide receivers, and hopefully they'll get some targets and some catches tonight from a Berwick standpoint. But I think their major responsibility tonight is going to be on the defensive side. They're going to be at the corners, and they're going to go against these two great receivers in Connor Shamani and Matt Casadas. Of course, the best defense is to really get after the quarterback. We'll see if Berwick can do that. But if Tyler Wolfe is given time to throw, those are two excellent receivers, and the pressure will be on those corners.
It will. In fact, I could have mentioned Rowan Slabinski as one of the outstanding receivers, but I think his focus really has to be at cornerback. He stands 6'3", and he covers well. And they're going to try to get 6'3" Ryan Slabinski matched up on 6'3" Connor Szymanski, who's the leading receiver on this team. And I think Dre Wilk is probably going to partner up with him because they like to bring Matthew Casadas on the same side. So I think they're going to be, kind of playing side by side on Twins receivers, locking on talent. And we'll see how that does match up. Boy, loud with the fireworks as Berwick enters the field.
Bulldogs on the near side of the field wearing their blue jerseys, white helmets, white pants, white numerals and trim. And across the way, awaiting the arrival of the Cougars of Hazleton area, we mentioned a possibility of a pass rush for Berwick, where Spencer Kishbaugh can really get after it from that standpoint. 6'3", 195. We knew he was a tenacious defensive player. Didn't know quite how fast he was until he picked one off last week.
Boy, did he look
Went
fast.
55 yards. He looked very, very fast.
He did. And the thing, too, is, Jim, as strong as he was with quarterback sacks last year, he was doing it from defensive end. As an outside linebacker now, you have the element of surprise when you choose to blitz him because he's not always coming, but, boy, you better have someone ready to block him. And you don't know where he's going to come. Is he going to loop to the outside? Is he going to crash on inside of the designated defensive ends if you bring him on the pass rush? And, of course, with his height, getting the hands up, it makes it very tough on a quarterback like Tyrell Wolfe, who's 5'11". So, yeah, he is a tremendous impact player. And don't forget Taji Taylor. When he turns it on, Jim, he can beat anybody. And he's been pressuring the passers throughout the Berwick season so far. He's capable of a lot of impact plays. And, boy, I said we didn't even mention Andrew Block, because he had the big impact play last week. Tackled the guy, stripped the ball, and picked it up. It kind of changed the complexion of the game. Bruce Hartman, a two-way player, aside of him, they got studs in there on defense.
It'll be interesting to see Berwick offensively, whether Benny Noor gets touches. That is the plan. In fact, a year ago, admittedly, this was out of the quarterback position, not as the tailback position, but he had a terrific effort against Hazleton area in that 30-25 loss. He ended up with 115 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on just 16 attempts. If he gets going and Aiden Mason gets going, you got a nice 1-2 there.
Yeah, and I think you have to think, how do we choose to use him? I don't know if they've been that conscious about it. You know, you missed the opening game with the COVID protocols, and then you're slow in bringing them in because other players performed well and you wanted to reward them. So you didn't immediately bring him in and give him touches in the backfield. Plus, his impact is often out there defensively. You kind of key on that and say, do we want to fatigue him by using too much offense? Then in the preseason, they were looking a lot of him at slot back, sort of sometime at tailback, sometime at slot back. They like him in the passing game. You know, if the passing game's not there, he's not doing you a lot of good out there at wide receiver. Maybe you look at him at tailback some with Aiden Mason in front of him. Maybe you look at a little more wildcat. Maybe you look at him alternating some at quarterback, depending on how things progress over the course of the season. But I think you have to be very conscious with Benny Noor. He's one of the best athletes on the field. How do we get the most out of him, especially offensively? They got to rethink some of it.
Cougars in Hazleton area made their way on the far side of the field where the white jerseys, white helmets, red numerals, silver pants, and trim. So we're closing in on the kickoff time. The officiating crew for tonight's game. The referee is Chuck Hannon. Al Williams will be the umpire. The linesman is John Basic. Bobby Jones is the line judge. The back judge is Kevin Harry. And the side judge is Brendan Boyle. Just can't have a better weather night for high school football. It is near perfect. Shadows now have covered the majority of the field. Hazleton area fans that have made the trip to Crespin Field still in the sunshine across the way from us as the captain's meeting at the center of the field. It's Benny Noor and Aiden Mason for the Bulldogs, along with Bruce Hartman. And Hazleton area has 5 people. Normally they only let a couple go out, but they have allowed 5 people to be out there. Ramon Abreu is one of them for the Cougars. Ryan Matthews, we might see some at fullback. Their starting quarterback is Tyler Wolfe. Again, he's just learning on the job. A year ago, he did not throw a single pass. So his experience as the starting quarterback for the Cougars is the first 2 games of the season. And he's had 2 very, very tough defenses to go against, and he's going to have another one here tonight.
Yes, he will, but he was 22 of 41 for 262 yards in those 2 games. Was picked off twice. Jim, am I wrong? Did he have a brother? There was a Wolfe, I believe, who played quarterback at Hazleton. I might have confused him in my earlier talk.
You might have, because he has no experience other than those first 2 games. So we're just about set to go. We'll be back with the kickoff to get things going. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
If you're looking for a used car or truck in the Hazleton area, first at BLB Auto Sales, Route 940 in Harley. BLB is a division of Barbush Automotive, and they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember their motto, we do it all, just call 570-454-7571 for a full line of services including safety and emissions inspections and everything for your car. BLB Auto Sales, Route 940, Harley.
When you need insurance, contact the experienced agents of Billig Helms Insurance. Serving the greater Hazleton area and all of Northeast PA, Billig Helms Insurance is family-owned and operated since 1902. Billig Helms Insurance, providing insurance policies to protect your personal and small business assets with free no-obligation quotes and the best rates anywhere. Billig Helms Insurance, 200 West 21st Street in Hazleton. Go to billighelms.com, 570-454-5000.
Lehigh Valley Health Network has some great news for residents of Greater Hazleton and surrounding communities. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is now located in the Humboldt Industrial Park at Station Circle in Hazel Township. Their orthopedics and sports medicine experts provide complete orthopedic care and accept most insurances, including Geisinger Gold. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, your partners in orthopedic care. To learn more, visit lvhn.org/orthopedics or call 570-861-8710.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Just about set to go here at Crispin Field for the 28th meeting between Berwick and Hazleton area. The Cougars won the toss, deferred to the second half. So we'll get a look at the Berwick offense to start. Again, with one notable exception, the offense has struggled here in the early going, and that exception was taking the second half kickoff against Crestwood and putting together a beautiful play-mixing 12-play, 81-yard drive that resulted in the Bulldogs' only offensive touchdown of the game and proved to be the game winner in that 14-9 win over Crestwood.
Everyone seems ready to play, Jim. They just line this up and give us a kickoff. For some reason, we're a little bit stalled. I believe we're going to be working without the 40-second clocks out on the field. One is on and one is off. That's an advantage to one team over the other, so usually they turn them both off. We saw that problem last week. It was not rectified. So they might be communicating that down to the officials so that they're aware they'll have to keep that time on the field itself.
Berwick will be moving from our right to our left as we do things here in the opening quarter. Luke Russo is a veteran and a terrific kicker for Hazleton area. He tees it up. Ryan Bankus and Dre Wilk are deep for the Bulldogs.
They'll kick from the middle of the field, right on that X on the 40-yard line. 5 Hazleton players flanking him to his left and to his right. A lot of teams like to try to kick it toward one side, cut the field in half, but a lot of coaches have different philosophies on how to do it. Soccer-style approach by Russo, and he'll be getting the whistle any second.
Luke Russo, senior wearing number 15, approaches the ball. This one is underway. The kick is high and deep, and Dre Wilk 3 yards deep in his end zone. Starts to bring it out, but in high school football, for no apparent reason, the rule is you can't do that. So Berwick will take over at their own 20-yard line to start this game, going against a Hazleton area defense that lines up with Ramon Abreu, Maximo Ticano, Nikos Rapic, and Jim Beltre, the front four. The 4 linebackers, Trayvon Corchado, Ryan Matthews, Ovan Miner, and Mitchell Maston. And a terrific, talented secondary. We talked about them as in their offensive prowess. Matt Bookman is the safety. Connor Shamani and Matt Cusatis are the corners.
Nice and tall back there. 6 foot for 2 of them and 6'3" for Shamani.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Lonzinski will operate out of the gun. Fakes handoff, rolls right to throw. Fires, has his man. It's Spencer Kishbaugh. Makes the grab and appears to have the first down on the far side. I'll tell you, for a player that's been struggling like Lonzinski, that's a great way to start the game.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Jim. I like the play call. If you want to get that passing game going, go a little play action fake, roll him out, no pressure on him. The receiver on the same side doing the out, a big target in Spencer Kishbaugh, and move the chains on the first play. Certainly a confidence builder for the quarterback.
10 yards on the completion to Spencer Kishbaugh, his first catch of this young season. 1st and 10, Berwick from their own 30. Cusatis gives the ball off to Aiden Mason straight ahead, and he is swarm tackled by the Cougars. Mitchell Matson from his linebacker spot among the people in on the play. They'll give Aiden Mason 2 to the 32-yard line. It'll be second down and 8.
If Hazleton watched film, Jim, they'd know that Aiden Mason is the go-to guy. So the defense pretty much eyeing on him, keying him, getting that good target, crashing to the football to keep him to under 2 yards.
Berwick just short of their own 32-yard line. Benny Knorr is in a slot to the left side. Wide receiver to the right. Knorr now goes in motion to the right. Lonzinski has the snap. Quick look, and he gets it to Benny Knorr, and he's brought down out about the 38-yard line. So they sent Knorr in motion. He got the pass from Lonzinski. There is a flag down on the play.
Real nice. Similar in action to the receiving route to the out that we saw Tishbaugh run. That time, Mitchell Maston able to bring him down. But it's going to be a penalty against Berwick, negating that real nice completion of about 7 yards.
So it will be second down and 13 for the Bulldogs, back to their 27-yard line. As Matt Lonzinski took advantage of the time to come to the sideline, get the play call. Second and long, Bulldogs.
Throws off the rhythm of the drive, Jim. You wanted to work pass and run, but now the run, you say, are we going to be able to get enough to make it worth our while to force you to an all-passing situation?
Knorr in a slot to the right side. Dre Wilk outside of him. Looking that way as Lonzinski steps up, looking downfield, fires incomplete. Intended for Braden Boone on the far side. Connor Shamani on the coverage for the Cougars.
Stood well in the pocket and then took his speed over to the right, gave himself a little bit more time where his receivers were, but couldn't find them breaking open.
Third down and 13. Bulldogs back at their 27-yard line.
Lonzinski coming over from that far hash almost every play to get the play from Carmen DiFrancesco. Rather see it signaled in than have him make that longer trip and fatigue him.
Slot to the left side. Benny Knorr in the slot. Dre Wilk outside of him. Lonzinski has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Nothing there. Now he rolls left. Looking downfield. Throws against his body to Knorr. It's overthrown. Good coverage downfield. It's a tough throw to make. Rolling to your left for a right-hander. Got it away, but beyond the reach of Benny Knorr. 4th and 13, punting situation, Bulldogs.
He had a lot of field in front of him, Jim. He's not a speedster, but sometime when things open up the way that looked here on the Berwick sideline, I don't know if he'd have got to the chains, but, the chance of connecting on that pass wasn't very high. I'd have taken 10 yards on the run and the chance to get to the chains.
Matt Bookman, Connor Shamani, deep for Hazleton area. Benny Knorr standing back at the Berwick 13-yard line. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Not particularly long. Very, very high. Fair catch by Bookman at the Cougar 49-yard line. So Hazleton area will take over good field position against a Berwick defense that held Crestwood to 97 total yards last week. They line up with Alex Hacker and Taji Taylor at the ends. Bruce Hartman and Andrew Blockus at the tackles. Linebackers Spencer Tishbaugh, Tristan English, who leads this team in tackles, and Benny Knorr. The corners, Braden Boone and Rowan Slavinsky. The safeties, Dre Wilk and Bo Sheptock.
It's an imposing type of defense, and we'll see which way Hazleton goes. Will they tip their hand on the first play, which way they want to emphasize the offense?
Their two outstanding wide receivers are both to the left, but the call goes to Bookman. Bookman running hard, runs right into Benny Knorr after he gets a couple to the Berwick 49-yard line.
And Benny Knorr not really in hitting position, takes it in the numbers, type of thing where a helmet in there can hurt you, be a little black and blue, but limits it to a long yard, short 2 on the game.
Second down and 8. Cougars at the Berwick 49-yard line. 10 minutes remaining in a scoreless first quarter. 3 receivers now to the left. Corchado joins Shamani and Cousadas, and the pass goes to Cousadas, and they'll lose yardage. Great read by Spencer Tishbaugh. Came across that line of scrimmage as soon as the ball got in the hands of the receiver. Tishbaugh was all over him. A loss back to the Cougar 47.
Not sure how much film they've seen, if that's a play that they were expecting. But boy, Spencer Tishbaugh read that wonderfully and really came up hard. It's to knock it for a 4-yard loss. Which receiver made the catch, Jim?
That was Cusatis. Third down and 13 for Hazleton area. Back at their 47-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Wolfe back to throw. Looking, has time. Now he has to keep the football, and he's going to be brought down at the 49-yard line. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Tajee Taylor on the stop for the Bulldogs. 4th and 10, punt team on Hazleton area.
Pressure was coming hard on the left side. Wolfe realized nothing's opening, and I'm feeling the heat. Started upfield. Tajee Taylor broke on in, met him at the line of scrimmage, and brings him down.
Trey Wilk, Braden Boone, deep for the Bulldogs. Luke Russo does all the kicking for this team. Nice punt to the far side of the field. Boone at the 15-yard line looking for running room. There's none there. He gets a couple out to the 17-yard line where Berwick will take over.
Christian Price among the first people on down there to pin him in. So each team has had a chance offensively. Hazleton has shown his propensity to go with the pass. Berwick has mixed both in a little bit. Like a little bit more success. So the defense is right now winning the opening series.
8:26 remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Berwick at their own 17-yard line. They huddle on the sideline and take the field. Aiden Mason is going to be the running back. Both Tajee Taylor and Spencer Kishbaugh are in that offense.
Both on the left side. Tajee is a tight end. Kishbaugh has a wing behind him. Great blocking potential there.
From the 17, Lonzinski gives the ball to Mason. Hit behind the line. Gets forward for maybe a yard on the play. Good swarming defense by the Cougars.
Trayvon Corchado coming in, pushing it inside to other people. So, yes, while Berwick had that stacked well with that sort of double wing tight end look, they were blocking inside, and people filtered right on by them.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
They'd like to establish a little bit more with the power run. They were able to do it against the Comets starting in the second half, but so far, nothing against this Hazleton unit.
Slot to the left side. Trey Wilk in the slot. Braden Boone outside of him. Lonzinski on a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Dumps it off to Aiden Mason. Mason's at 20. Breaks to a tackle over the 30 for first down. Just a little dump pass to the left side to Aiden Mason. He did the rest. 1st and 10 Berwick.
Yeah, it was nice. Little swing. Got it. Got even with the quarterback. Had his head of steam. Had to reach back just a little bit, but a comfortable catch. Boy, once he gets that head of steam, he's able to split 2 potential tacklers on that side. Move the chains.
15 yards on the reception to Aiden Mason, his first of the young season. And Berwick with a first down at their own 33-yard line. Slot to the right side. Spencer Kishbaugh on a wing to the left. Lonzinski hands to Mason. Breaks one tackle and another at the 45. At midfield, lowering the shoulders, still on his feet down that sideline. Aiden Mason with a strong effort to the Hazleton area 44-yard line.
Same play that was stuffed earlier. This time the blocking's there, and he gets the corner. He then gets his speed going. And I like the way he finished the run, Jim. He's on the sideline. Most people would, let themselves be pushed out of bounds there. Instead, he decided, I'm going to play this physical. I'm going to take on these corners and safeties and push my way into them.
So after a 15-yard reception on a dump pass, he goes 23 yards on a run from scrimmage, and Berwick in business at the Cougar 44-yard line. Slot to the right side. Again, Kishbaugh on a wing to the left. Mason gets the call again, up the middle, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Good first down play. Give that offensive line for the Bulldogs some credit. Nice hole for Aiden Mason.
Yeah, it was off the right side. Chase Shucker, Xander Unger over on that side. Man had him by the leg about 2 yards into the run. Boy, he just pulled away from that. Right now, he's that hot horse, Jim. I think Carm DiFrancesco is going to keep running with him. You might give him a playoff, let him catch his breath. But you watch, they'll come back to Aiden Mason right now. He's the one moving the football.
He's on the sideline now. Ryan Bankus replaces him as Berwick faces a 2nd and 5 at the Cougar 39-yard line. Bankus gets the call, tries the left side, and can't get out of a good tackle by Corchado from his linebacker position. Trayvon Corchado, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. Nice tackle in the open field. They mark it at the 38, so give Vegas a yard and give Berwick a 3rd down and 4.
3rd and 4, cross the 50. Is it 4th down territory from the 38? Depending on how you're thinking as a coach, depends on what you do. If you feel I can get half of this on this play, I'll take the other half on 4th down, then you might commit to the run. If not, it's passing down in distance.
Aiden Mason back in there as the running back. He lines up to the right of Matt Lunzinski, who operates out of the gun on the 3rd and 4. Benny Knorr goes in motion. He takes the handoff. Mason out in front. Knorr has the first down and then some near the 32-yard line of Hazleton area.
We mentioned how do you get Benny Knorr involved. That time from a slot back position, you bring him motion with sort of a jet sweeping action, but not going wide. He knew the team needed 4 yards to get the chains and continue the drive. He followed Mason, went north-south, and got those chains with a physical run.
6 yards and the carry by Benny Knorr. Berwick started this possession at their own 17. They're now at the Hazleton area 32. 1st and 10 with 5:08 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Slot to the left. Lunzinski gives the ball to Mason. Not much doing this time. Olivier Minor, a junior, 185-pound, 5'10 linebacker, makes a nice one-on-one tackle, and it will be right at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Aiden Mason got it almost at a standstill and was trying to read where's this hole going to open. Left, right, up the middle. It didn't open anywhere. Eventually put his head down, took the collision with Minor, and right there at the line of scrimmage is brought down.
2nd down and 10. Berwick on the march at the Hazleton area 32-yard line. Benny Knorr in a slot to the right. Braden Boone outside of him. Dre Wilk wide left. 2nd and 10. Lunzinski fakes handoff, back to throw. Pump fake, nothing there. Now he throws long downfield, and Benny Knorr is inside the 5-yard line, down to the 1-yard line. Lunzinski on target to Benny Knorr. 1st and goal, Berwick.
I thought he made the wrong read. He had a man out there on an out pattern that was open, but the pump was there, and then he went deeper to Benny Knorr, who beat the coverage, slid behind everybody. I thought the tackle was going to push him into the end zone, but they'll need to get that last half yard here with the running game. Beautiful pass.
31 yards on the reception. 1st and goal, Berwick trying to draw first blood here in the opening quarter with 4 minutes remaining.
Aiden Mason coming off the field. He'd be my power runner, so we'll see how they do it here. Oh, they're stacked up.
They are indeed, and Knorr will await the shotgun snap. High snap. He gets the ball and then is buried down near the 5-yard line.
I'm not keen on the call. I don't like shotgun much at all. People know that. But when you're on the half-yard line, if you just take him, give him the typical quarterback snap from center, and you have those 4 power backs, just push him on in. Push him on in. But here, with the shotgun, the risk of losing yardage, and they do drop about 3 there.
2nd and goal. Berwick at the Hazleton area 4-yard line. Lunzinski back in there at the quarterback controls.
Yeah, to me that would have been a power running play, but Aiden Mason comes out, and they go in shotgun.
He is in there now, is Aiden Mason to the right of Lunzinski from the 4-yard line. The call goes to Mason, sweeping the left side, looking for the end zone, trying to run over tacklers, and he does for a Berwick touchdown. Strong effort by Aiden Mason in from 4 yards out. The Bulldogs have the lead.
And credit his blocker. Everyone from the center to the left side took a step or two to their left and engaged and kept fronting people. He ran along with them till he saw where there, if you see me, could turn it north-south. It wasn't really there, but he was getting a little push from those offensive linemen. And then eventually, with his power, he's able to drive it in for the score.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Braden Boone. 83-yard drive by Berwick.
Beautiful drive.
Mentioned they had an 81-yarder against Crestwood. High snap, but Boone does a nice job getting it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 2:54 to go first quarter. Berwick 7, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
What a terrific drive by Berwick on their second possession. 10 plays, 83 yards. Abe Mason in from the 4-yard line for the score, and he was big on that drive. He caught a pass for 15 yards. He had a run from scrimmage of 23 yards. And, of course, the bomb to Benny Noor of 31 yards from Matt Lozinski set up that touchdown.
Matt Lozinski with 4 completes in 5 attempts.
Hinkle will kick it off. Bookman and Casadas deep for the Cougars. Kick is very, very high. Matt Casadas settles under it at the 7-yard line, up the middle to the 10. Looking for room to the far side. Berwick with good coverage, and finally he's brought down about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line.
Joshua Kishbaum, wearing number 14, got in. Missed the man the first time, but pushed him sideways. Would not give up his lane. Then he retreated with an angle and made the tackle. So nice play by Joshua Kishbaum. Just a sophomore, just under 40 pounds.
Cougars get it for the second time. It's their own 26-yard line. Berwick with a 7-0 lead. 2:46 remaining in this opening quarter. As Tyler Wolfe brings his team out of the huddle. He operates from the shotgun. He has Matt Bookman in motion to the right side. Wolfe gets a low snap, gives it straight ahead, and a big running lane all the way down to the Berwick 40, the 30, the 25, the 20, and finally brought down at the 7-yard line. Ryan Matthews on the carry, a huge gain.
He plays fullback for them, Jim. He was 1 of 2 in the backfield. They brought Bookman out into trips. A lot of attention went there. They burst Matthews up the middle. He showed stellar speed. Split the defenders, and with everyone else wide on the wide receivers, he had the middle of the field till Berwick would eventually get angles and run him down. We're going to have a little stoppage here. A Berwick or a Hazleton player is down up near the original line of scrimmage.
Well, what a boost that is for a Hazleton area offense that has not been able to move the ball on the ground through the first 2 games of the season. A 59-yard run by Ryan Matthews.
Almost a trick play, Jim. A fullback dive you don't think of as a trick play, but when you're expecting a team to pass, they put their main ball carrier in motion to their very dangerous receivers on the right side and trips. You don't expect them to slide it to that Singleton back who kind of hides behind the line, splits the line. And then, it's not fullback speed. It's running back speed in Matthews. And he extends that play very nicely.
We mentioned this is a young, rebuilt offensive front for Hazleton area. And one of those starters is being helped off the field on the far side. Now he's starting to walk under his own power. It's Leo Kelly, the left guard. 5'11", 245-pound senior.
Yeah, they'll have to replace him. Ball's going to be down in the red zone on the 15, on the left hash, the Hazleton side of the field. They had a beautiful, explosive play there. And once you run successfully, it opens up that passing game a little bit.
Shamani, Casadas, 2 of the 3 receivers to the right. The call goes to Bookman straight ahead and nothing doing. Berwick all over the play.
Andrew Blockus getting the penetration and busting that play up, getting to Matthew Bookman before he can make anything happen. Looks like they're going to call it right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
2nd and 10, Hazleton area threatening at the Berwick 15. Bulldogs with the early 7-0 lead as we go under 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter here at Crispin Field.
Berwick would like to see a pass attempt, and they'd like to get the sack or something to happen, perhaps a turnover. He'd like to get this team out of field goal range.
Matthews now lines up wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. Casadas comes in motion, a fake to him. Wolfe is going to keep the football, then throw it the last minute to Matthews. Matthews breaks the tackle and gets in for the touchdown. So we talked about the big 3 of Hazleton area. Casadas and Shamani and Bookman, but it's Matthews who comes up huge on that touchdown drive.
Credit to quarterback as well. Tyler Wolfe had to step up under pressure. A hand was on him. He kind of almost shovels it. It's a forward pass overhand, but they had that look of a shovel to a man who's not that far away. Matthews somehow is past the line of scrimmage. They get it to him. He breaks to his left, breaks that tackle, shrugs it off, and scores.
Connor Shamani will hold. Luke Russo will try to tie it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Top of the field, 1:38 remaining in the opening quarter. Berwick 7, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Hazleton area has tied it at 7 with a 74-yard drive on 3 plays. All 74 yards credited to Ryan Matthews, a 5'9", 195-pound junior. A 59-yard run, setting up his 15-yard reception touchdown from Tyler Wolfe.
Very impressive for the youngster Matthews to be able to do what he did. The burst itself can be exhausting. They gave him a play off where the team got nothing. And then he ends up in the right place as his quarterback is stepping up in a little bit of a scramble. Finds him with a little bit of a spit pass, shrugs off a high tackle that was grabbing at him, and then takes it on into the end zone.
Luke Russo kicked it into the end zone. His first kickoff, this one to the far side. Dre Wilk will field it at the 3-yard line. To the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, and brought down at the 43-yard line. 40 yards on the return by Dre Wilk.
Alex Pongrazi able to eventually get him down, but no, he ran it with deliberation, Jim. He is deep. He can let it go into the end zone, but he likes to return it. Things can happen if you make it with the aggressive play. Found the seam up the right hash, a little bit right, a little bit left, eluding, using blocks, and brings it out approaching midfield.
So we are tied at 7 with 1:30 remaining in this opening quarter. Good field position for Berwick at their own 43-yard line.
And they huddle on the sideline to start the drive, talk with the coach, all the players there. They're very fresh. Want to get themselves back into a dominant position with this team. They were feeling good. They had momentum. They let it slip away.
Slot to the left, Betty Noor in the slot. Dre Wilk wide to the right. Lonzinski back to throw. Fires, has his man. Spencer Kishmore breaks the tackle. Over midfield from 45 to 40. Far side of the field, 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Dives for the pylon and gets down
short.
Inside the 1-yard line.
I don't know if he ran out of gas, Jim, but what surprising speed. Put him on the track team at 6'4". Thought it was just a short little pass of about 5 or 6 yards, but once he caught it, he kicked it into gear, broke to the right side, the Hazleton side, ran down the numbers, ran, and if for some reason lost his balance or misgauged the end zone, a dive that comes about 3 yards short of the goal line, but takes nothing away from the wonderful reception.
54 yards on the reception to Spencer Kishbaugh. Made some nice moves before he broke out into the open. So now Berwick threatening to regain the lead with 1:15 to go in this opening quarter. Tristan English lines up as the fullback ahead of Aiden Mason in the eye. Lonzinski under center. From the 4, Mason gets the call off the left side, lowers the shoulder, breaks the tackle, gets it for the touchdown. Aiden Mason with a power move, and Berwick regains the lead.
I like putting the hitter Tristan English in front of it fullback as well, Jim. I felt when they were down in that red zone on the 1-yard line, that's the play I run. You follow power backs with a power back. This time they go with the straight snap to the quarterback, no shotgun, easy handoff. Power off the left, and it's power on power, and Berwick flexes its muscles and gets that score.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Now the hold of Braden Boone. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field, 109 remaining in the first quarter play with the score. Berwick 14, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and full service center servicing all makes and models, and they have been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible rating from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for excellence. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Pine Street in Berwick proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Andy, so much for our pregame story about both these teams struggling on offense. We are back and forth, a wild first quarter. Berwick with the lead 14-7, one big play after another in this opening quarter.
And when you mention who are the speedsters on the team, how far down the line do you go before you mention Matthews for Hazleton and Kishbaugh for Berwick? And yet it's like a track meet out there with those two on their long runs. It's an impressive look by both teams.
Brendan Hinkle will kick it off for the Bulldogs. His kick is a low line drive, and Bookman on a high hop at the 16 to the 20, 25, 30. Bookman still on his feet, trying to get outside left. Does so, and is ridden out of bounds near midfield. Terrific return by Matt Bookman. So we had a nice return by Dre Wilk. Now Bookman gets in the action, and Hazleton area trailing 14-7 with 58 seconds to go in the quarter in great field position.
Berwick did a lot of things right. They came down to maintain their lanes. He wanted to come up the right hash. It wasn't there. Broke to the center of the field. As we look down there, it was Harrison Snyder who was in his lane, but taking on a blocker, forces it wide. And then he finds a little bit on the perimeter where he can turn it up north-south and bring it out approaching midfield, just shy 2 yards of the 50.
Cougars took just 3 plays to score their last possession. Now they have it at their own 48-yard line. Trailing Berwick by a score of 14-7. Posadas goes in motion. Bookman gets the call up the middle, and a good surge by him gets into Berwick territory about the 48. Aaron Hacker among the people in on the play from his defensive end position for the Bulldogs.
10 blue jerseys in on the tackle, Jim, but he does push ahead. A little bit of a delay. I'm not sure if it was a busted play. They came back to Bookman, put it in his belly almost like a draw. And then he got a slow start off it, but finishes nicely for the 4-yard gain.
Second down and 6. Cougars at the Berwick 48-yard line. Bookman now splits wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. Here comes Casadas in motion, a toss to him. He rolls right, looking for room, makes a nice cut, and is brought down a couple of yards short of the first down yardage. It looked almost like he was going to pass the football at one point.
I think he just didn't have a good grip on the ball, Jim. I think he didn't have it secure. It was back there further.
As the first quarter comes to an end with the score, Berwick 14, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Every step of the way, First Columbia Bank. Any questions, ask them. Let's dream and make it happen. Time to feel the way a friend can make your day. For the big decisions, every step of the way. Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
A lot of fireworks in that opening quarter here at Crispin Field. 14-7 is the Berwick lead. And as we start the second quarter, Hazleton area now moving from our right to our left. They have the ball at the Berwick 44-yard line, facing a 3rd down and 2.
Normally a power run situation, but Berwick's D seems to have the edge against power run. A lot of what we're seeing here has been plays from more the back of the playbook.
a little bit of deception involved in them. There was that sort of odd-looking jet sweep that we thought he might have thrown the pass. I don't know if Hazleton can just aggressively go at this short 2 yards.
Third down call. Wolfe out of the gun. DeSantis in motion right to left. The call goes to Bookman. He's hit behind the line. He will not get the first down. And Spencer Kishbaugh comes from his linebacker position to make the play for the Bulldogs. Bookman met right at the 45, so he actually lost a yard, and now it's going to be 4th and 3.
And it's a tough situation. Berwick, of course, has to defend against the first down 3 yards away. But it is 4th down. He can throw it deeper downfield. Passing situation for this team now, Jim.
Bookman to the right of Wolfe. 4th and 3. Big call coming. Low snap. Wolfe has it. Rolls right. Going to keep the football and will not get there. Will not get there. He is brought down right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they knocked the ball out of his hands and eventually rolled out of bounds. 4th down, it'll turn over to Berwick. But yeah, Berwick aware, played well in the secondary to cover people. Wolfe forced out of the pocket, goes to his right, realizes he has to try something, tries to run. Ball security not a major concern on 4th down. He comes up short.
The Bulldogs will take over in good field position just underway here in the second quarter. They have it at their own 45-yard line, so they'll be moving from our left to our right, and they lead Hazleton area by a score of 14-7.
Jimmy Doyle, would you have punted that away?
No.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those real tweeners. You feel you want the momentum. The team that has the momentum may win this.
Yeah, with the scores going back and forth, I think I go for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to question the call.
So here's Berwick from their own 45-yard line. Tajee Taylor on a wing to the left. In motion comes Dre Wilk. Takes the handoff, tries to sweep the right side, does so over midfield. Hit really hard, but he gets close to the first down yardage.
Yeah, he was hit by Trayvon Corchado, Jim. We've seen him involved. I think Berwick wants to make sure they're using all their stars, getting the most out of people. We mentioned how are they going to use Benny Knorr. Well, you use him downfield on a 31-yard pass reception. How do you get Dre Wilk involved? You run that jet sweep, let him use his speed. Doesn't look like he's gaining that much yardage. He seems in a glide, like he doesn't have to really worry it. And it's a 9.5-yard gain.
Second down, less than a yard for the Bulldogs at the Cougar 46-yard line.
A play where you can take the risk and try to go deeper downfield.
Empty backfield. Long count. The snap goes to Benny Knorr, who's in the Wildcat, and he gets the first down inside the 45 to the 42-yard line.
Linebackers come up and meet him, Jim, but he's a tough runner. Kayvon Minor meets him near the line of scrimmage, but the shock of the collision, it's Benny Knorr who pushes it back and gains the first down.
Hazleton area well aware of the running prowess of Benny Knorr. A year ago playing the quarterback position, 115 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns against these Cougars at Harmon Guy Stadium.
It's nice to have that wildcat option where you can run or pass, do a lot of different things. The running quarterback is a threat Benny Knorr gives them when he's in there.
And a Berwick wide receiver was lined up offside. The Bulldogs will burn a timeout. 9:53 to go first half. Berwick 14, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football and sports radio, HLM.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
9:53 to go in an entertaining first half here at Crispin Field. Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 14-7. And the Bulldogs following their timeout with a 1st and 10 at the Cougar 43-yard line.
Noor still in the Wildcat, Jim.
Takes the handoff. No, he keeps the ball himself up the middle, breaks the tackle, and is close to the first down near the 34-yard line. Nicely done, Benny Noor.
Similar to what he did last year at quarterback, Jim. Instead of having a motion man fake the jet sweep and take it up the middle, he would often give a fake on the outside and then take it up inside of that. So using last year's film and Benny Noor's success last year running against Hazleton, they find him that nice inside lane.
Second down and 2. 8 yards in the carry by Benny Noor. Berwick at the Cougar 35-yard line. Noor now will be in a slot to the left side. Lonzinski back there at the quarterback controls, awaiting the shotgun snap. Has it. Pump fake. Looking long for Spencer Kishbaugh. It's overthrown and incomplete.
Yeah, the fake didn't really fool people. They had 2 people out there on Spencer Kishbaugh plus the safety coming over, so it ends up 3-on-1. And since he can't get the depth, it's just as well that the ball is overthrown.
But you mentioned before the game that so much of Berwick's passing game through the first 2 games was a very, very short variety. Sometimes you have to air it out. Even if it doesn't work, it gets them to think about something.
You see the 3 people back with him way deep in the field, Jim. That's 3 less people to defend against the run if they're that worried about the pass, and they are.
Third down and 2. Bulldogs at the Cougar 35-yard line.
And they have 3rd and 4th down in short yardage situation to get this.
Aiden Mason is the running back. He gets the call. He has the first down, I believe. See where the forward progress is. He runs hard. Good pursuit. That is among the people in on the stop. Corchado there as well for the Cougars. But Aiden Mason does, in fact, pick up a first down at the Cougar 32-yard line.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that deep pass, even if there's coverage there and you're forced to throw it away. When you have a 3rd and short and a 4th and short to play with, and an Aiden Mason running behind powerful blocking.
Benny Noor now gets a breather. He plays a lot for this football team on both sides, plus special teams. Is the team's punter. 1st and 10 at the Cougar 32-yard line. Slot to the left. Lonzinski has the shotgun snap, gives the ball to Mason off the right side, then cuts it inside and spins down near the 25-yard line. Good first down carry.
Everyone on the line of scrimmage taking a step to the right, where Spencer Kishbaugh is the widest man as an H-back. Benny Noor is able to follow and then see where does the seam open. Anywhere along that front. He chose the inside seam, maximized the run with about a 6-yard gain.
Second down and 4. Berwick at the Hazleton area 26-yard line. Bulldogs break the huddle. They send Braden Boone wide left. Dre Wilk in a slot to that side. Spencer Kishbaugh on a wing to the right. Fake handoff, rolling left is Lonzinski. Throws behind the intended receiver, Tajay Taylor, at the 16-yard line, incomplete.
And not a good pass that time. Rolling to the left is tough for a right-handed quarterback to have to get the throw on. He's sensing pressure. He wants to keep moving. He has 3 receivers as options. None are really wide open. Oh, he zips it behind Tajay Taylor there.
3rd and 4. Berwick probably in 4-down territory. They have it at the Hazleton area 26-yard line. 7:40 to go in this opening half. And the Bulldogs trying to add to a 14-7 lead.
Ball is on the right hash, the wide side of the field to the left toward the Hazleton sideline. See if they try to exploit that area.
Kishbaugh lines up as a tight end to the left. Lonzinski out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Nothing there. Rolls right. Flag down the play as the pass goes through the hands of Braden Boone.
Thrown pretty hard for a receiver who's relatively close, but it's probably not going to matter. Probably a holding call on Berwick. He had time, couldn't find the receivers open, looked deeper downfield before settling on the shorter receiver in Boone, and couldn't connect there either. Does Hazleton take the yardage and push them back, or will they take the play?
Well, it'll be a 4th and 4 if they didn't take it. I think you got to take the penalty. Of course, Berwick was in 4-down territory, but now they'll have to have a pretty good play on this play, get some good yardage to make it a 4-down play. It's all the way back to the 40 33-yard line.
So whoever was guilty of the hold was well deep in their pass protection. Perhaps someone chasing the quarterback after he left the pocket, bent to his right. That's a very long penalty.
17 yards altogether.
Wow.
So now 3rd and 21 at the Cougar 43. If the Bulldogs can overcome a big penalty. Slot to the left. Lunzinski back to throw. Has time. Fires over the middle. Throws it way over the head of his intended receiver. The interception by Cousatis. The return to midfield. Breaks through a tackle down the far sideline. Forced out of bounds inside the Berwick 40-yard line. Pass well over the head of the intended receiver. Cousatis with the interception return, and the Cougars down 7 in great shape.
Not a good read. He didn't really set his feet well. The ball really not targeted where it should go. You think I have to make the big play here, or we're going to come up flat. You throw the interception, get a great return like Cousatis had there before Braden Boone pulls him down, and you're giving Hazleton the opportunity for points.
So the Cougars 1st and 10 at the Berwick 38-yard line. 7:23 remaining this opening half. Berwick leading by a score of 14-7.
Turnovers also turn momentum around. Hazleton should be pumped up here.
Slot to the left side. Wolfe out of the gun. Gives the ball to Bookman. Tries the right side. Matt Bookman will get just a couple. Berwick swarms to the ball.
They do. They really do, Jim. Even though you're thinking pass, this team wants to get its running game going. They go to Bookman, who they rely on. And Berwick just is all over the play on that backside where he tried to run less than a yard.
Ball at the 37-yard line. We'll call it 2nd down and 9. Tristan English, who leads the Bulldogs in tackles coming into this game with 21, coming off a great effort last week among the people in on that stop. 2nd and 9. Cougars at the Bulldog 37. Tyler Wolfe drops the snap, picks it up, gets the pass off to Bookman. Bookman gets down to the 31-yard line. Boy, that almost intercepted.
Tristan English read it. Tried to step in front, but just mistimed it. Thought he'd have it. Instead of going for the receiver, he went for the ball to either tip it or take it away. If he was able to catch up, it would have been a pick six. He'd been going the other way, but he didn't. Instead, a successful play for Hazleton, as Bookman's able to get about 6 yards on that.
3rd down and 3. Cougars at the Berwick 31-yard line. Slot to the right side. Shimani wide right. Cousatis in the slot, and Wolfe looking that way, and he fires a pass, and he has Cousatis, and he turns the corner at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. The pass on target to Matt Cousatis on the far side of the field. He showed speed, 31 yards altogether.
He did. A neat design. They're in twins receivers with Shimani wide of him. And it's a question of where are you throwing. They threw to the inside receiver, moving toward the sideline. Shimani's in position then to sort of create a block for him. It's not a pick because the ball has to be caught first. Then he runs behind Shimani, finds the sideline, and uses the speed.
Russo will try to tie it up. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Time on the field. 5:51 to go, first half. Berwick 14, Hazleton area 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLM.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to offer the Air Scrubber by Aris. It reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses and their health effects. Air Scrubbers don't just treat the air, they also help to clean the surfaces of your home, such as countertops, bathrooms, kitchens, and doorknobs. The Air Scrubber is quick and easy, designed to fit into your existing HVAC system. Learn more by calling 1-888-KOWALSKI or on the web at sjkowalski.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Matt Cousatis of Hazleton area having a big first half. He intercepts a Berwick pass, returns the Bulldogs 38-yard line, and 3 plays later, he catches a pass, goes 31 yards for what proves to be the tying score. 14 all, 5:51 to go in the half.
Clever design, as I mentioned. Twins receiver, he's inside, makes the catch heading toward the Berwick sideline. Shimani is the wide man who then turns immediately into a blocker, takes his defender away, and Casadas uses his speed down the sideline for the score.
Luke Russo will kick it off. Dre Wilk and Ryan Bankus deep for the Bulldogs.
Wilk has shown he likes to run these out even when they're near the end zone.
Russo's kick very, very high. Bankus back to the 1 yard line. Up the middle to the 10, to the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and tackled in the open field. Boy, from our view in the press box, you could see that open up. And that's a good defensive play for Hazleton area. Maybe a saving tackle by Brady Mazenko.
That's who I had too, Jim, and it was the only man between the hashes who could make the play on the rope. So really open field, and Mazenko comes up strong to stop it for Hazleton.
So the Bulldogs get it back. Boy, they had things going. They had the 14-7 lead. They had the ball in Hazleton area territory. Then the big 17-yard penalty. They tried to get too much of it back on a pass. It was picked off, and now we're tied at 14.
Yeah, not a good series of downs the last time for Berwick. The holding call was important, and then some just not good decision-making.
Ball goes to Aiden Mason off the left side, and Mason will pick up 3, maybe 4 on the first down carry.
You know, when things are really going and they're all pumped up, this Berwick team makes that play go for more than 4 yards. But momentum's turned. You've given it back to Hazleton, let them back in the game. Berwick will take 4, but they'd like more. They'd like to get themselves pumped up and feel that they're in charge again.
2nd and 7. Bulldogs at their 34-yard line.
50 yards now on the game for Aiden Mason.
Slot to the right side. Tristan English is the tight end to the right. Mason, the call again, is tripped up after a short gain to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. That active outside linebacker, Trayvon Corchado, in on the play.
He's been very active for them, Jim. A standout from that outside linebacker position. Dre Wilk kind of came in, but if he put any kind of block, it was going to be an illegal crackback. Instead, take the couple of yards that you get, try for it here on 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Bulldogs at their own 36-yard line. They would hate to give it right back to the Cougars after Hazleton area tied the score. Slot to the right side. Wilk in the slot. Lonzinski out of the gun. Has the snap. Dumps the pass off to Aiden Mason. He drops it.
Back shoulder on the short little toss. He started in the backfield, took about 2 steps till he's just outside the tight end. He is forward, so it's not a lateral, which is fortunate, but on the back shoulder rather than heading upfield on that little spit path, can't quite hold on as he's thinking of where am I going to run with this once I get it.
And boy, you'd like your chances with Aiden Mason in the open field to break a tackle or two. Doesn't get that opportunity. And Benny Knorr back to punt, standing back at the Berwick 21-yard line. Very good snap. Kick is away. Pretty good kick. Takes a high hop. Hazleton area stays away from it. It will roll dead about the Cougar 28-yard line. So that's where they will put it in play with 4:06 to go in the half. And the score tied at 14.
Ethan Lear downfield to make sure that no one's going to pick that up on the bounce. Good hustler, 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore, backup quarterback who I thought looked nice in the preseason. Doing a nice play there on specialty teams.
29-yard line is where they will mark the football. Cougars have never led in this half, but they have it here with their full complement of timeouts left and 4:06 to go in the half at their own 29-yard line. Tyler Wolfe gives it to Bookman. He gives to Casadas, turning the corner at the 30, the 35, the 40. Over the 45, out to the 48-yard line. So they gave the ball to Bookman. He handed off to Casadas, and Casadas appears to have a world of speed. He gets to the 47-yard line. That's an 18-yard pickup.
Mentioned that Hazleton has been doing this with some of the plays from the back of the playbook, a little deception. There, that reverse coming, going with the hot hand, and Casadas, the man who's made things happen with the interception and then the nice reception for the touchdown, here on a reversing action, gaining 18.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. Shimani wide right. Casadas in a slot to that side. Wolfe gives the ball to Bookman. Bookman tries the right side. Again, Berwick swarms to the football.
Can't run left, can't run right. Dre Wilk filling from safety up the middle. They'll give him about half a yard on that. But Bookman now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's his 6th carry. If we're generous and give him a yard, he'd have 7 yards on the 6 carries.
And he played well against the Bulldogs last year at Harmon Geis, had 88 yards rushing and a touchdown.
I think it's this young line, Jim. They just can't create a power running game, and I think, Coach Dennis Bookman, elder brother of Matt Bookman, realizes it, and his play calling is often showing them the type of deceptive plays he's trying to run. 4 receivers in a bunch this time.
And 1 to the right, and Wolfe fires a quick out, and it's tipped incomplete. Spencer Kishbaugh got his hands on that football and batted it in the air. Had he picked it off, it probably would have been a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but as it is, he disrupts that. 3 immediate blockers, whoever the receiver was going to be in that screen. And Kishbaugh's too far inside to make a play on him.
Timeout. Cougars, 2:34 remaining in the half. Score tied at 14. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio, HLN.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
2:34 remaining in the opening half here at Crispin Field. Score tied at 14 and a big call coming. Hazleton area following their timeout. 3rd down and 9. They have the ball near their 48-yard line. They do have 2 timeouts remaining.
That last timeout cut me off. Wonderful play by Spencer Kishbaugh to knock that ball away.
Wolfe has the shotgun snap. Back to throw. Big pass rush. Gets away. Reverses his field. He's in big trouble. He'll be sacked inside the 30-yard line. Berwick just kept coming.
Big play was by Bruce Hartman, defensive tackle. Got penetration, chased him one way, chased him another. Others turn him around. He gets him, sort of trips him up, and is finally there to finish the play. Berwick with the timeout now, Jim.
Yeah, we'll keep it right here with 2:13 to go in the half. Huge play. Changes field position drastically and puts Hazleton area in a punting situation. And Berwick will still have 1 timeout remaining when they get the football.
Yeah, with the defensive rush, Jim, it was a full team effort. I mentioned Hartman because he seemed frustrated. Almost had him, and then finally, after the huge loss, able to finally bring him on down. How many yards lost on that sack?
They're marking it back at the 29, so that is an 18-yard loss. As I mentioned, it changes field around, although Russo is an excellent all-around kicker.
Well, you might decide to try to pressure him a little bit, Jim. You have those 6'3" type of defensive ends in Kishbaugh and Tajee Taylor. But I think Berwick's going to play for the return. Twin safeties back there, and they've found some room on returns.
Braden Boone, Dre Wilk, deep. Russo back at his 17-yard line. Good snap. Kick is away to the far side of the field, away from those returners, and will roll dead about the Berwick 41-yard line. So the Bulldogs will have pretty good field position with 1 timeout remaining and 2:03 on the clock, and the score tied at 14.
Matt Lonzinski started out 4 of 5 passing, but then the last 5 passes have been incomplete and 1 was intercepted. It's a situation where you do want to pass the football to work it downfield to get it in scoring range. You know, how will Berwick play it? Can Lonzinski step up his game and complete these passes?
Braden Boone, Dre Wilk are the wide receivers.
Or will we see Benny Knorr at quarterback?
Knorr's in a slot to the right side. Boone outside of him. Wilk wide to the left. Lonsinski has the snap. Fires a quick out, has Braden Boone. Couple blockers out in front, but Hazleton area closes quickly, and the gain will just be 3 to the 44-yard line.
Lonsinski got that snap and shotgun, comfortably turned to his right, delivered it on the money. Boone worked his blockers, tried to get inside of it, but Hazleton reacted very well. Clock will continue to run. We're down to 1:39 as they approach the football.
Mitchell Maston on that last stop for the Cougars. 2nd and 7. Berwick. Lonsinski back to throw. Fires incomplete. Intended for Benny Knorr. Pass comes up short. Knorr at the 49-yard line.
Coverage was behind him, but the ball not really close enough to him, dropping about a yard in front of him. So it'll stop the clock on the incomplete, but they need 7 yards just to get the chains. They need to convert it here. Otherwise, I think you're punting it away.
And Hazleton area with a couple of timeouts in their pocket. So 3rd down and 7. Berwick at their own 44.
On the right hash, wide side of the field, to the left where 2 receivers are.
Knorr in a slot to the left side. Lonsinski looks to the right, has Dre Wilk over the 45, over midfield, and has the first down at the Cougar 47-yard line. Back to status on the stop. Nice effort by Dre Wilk.
Quarterback puts it on the money so Dre Wilk can catch it and run after the catch. They see the one-on-one type of coverage. They feel Dre Wilk can shake and bake that. And while he's being tackled, he extends the football to make sure he gets the first down.
9 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 at the Cougar 47-yard line. 1:10 to go in the half. Aiden Mason the call, trying to sweep the left side, and he won't get there. Boy, that is good defensive work by Hazleton area's Mitchell Maston, a 5'11", 185-pound senior.
Yeah, and he couldn't get out of bounds either, Jim. Tackled about 3 yards from the sideline. Had he gotten out of bounds, he'd have stopped the clock. Instead, we're at 48 seconds and counting down as Berwick approaches the football.
Loss of a yard on the carry by Aiden Mason. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Lonsinski back to throw, fires down the backfield, has his man, Benny Knorr, breaks a tackle at the 40, still on his feet, gang tackled at the Cougar 37-yard line. He does have a Berwick first down.
He does, 26.5 seconds. We'll have a stoppage to move the chains. And Berwick's hustling for the football.
Lonsinski out of the gun, Mason to his right, and he
clocks it.
Throw the ball into the ground, stopping the clock with 21.7 seconds remaining. Again, Berwick with 1 timeout remaining. They have a pretty good kicker in Brendan Hinkle. I think they'd like to save that last timeout if they have to get a field goal unit on.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's hard to get the ball to the sidelines and get out of bounds after a catch. They're long throws for a high school quarterback. They also find that often it's emptier and bigger seams down the middle of the field. So if you can get the ball down around the 20-yard line, then you can use that timeout and have the potential for the field goal to break this 14-14 tie that we're seeing right now.
Braden Boone wide to the left. Benny Knorr in a slot to that side. Dre Wilk to the right. Lonsinski back to throw. Looking, fires to the sideline. Has his man Spencer Kishbaugh and does get out of bounds. Down around the 27-yard line. Nicely done on both ends.
Spencer Kishbaugh was on the left as an H-back, went down about 5-6 yards, crossed what would be in front of the linebackers, but they're in different areas of the zone. Came over to his own numbers, made the catch, and then used his speed to get out of bounds. So, yes, a win-win there for Berwick.
3rd and 1. The 28-yard line, just 15.3 seconds remaining. Again, Berwick with 1 timeout remaining.
Got to get a little further downfield for a realistic field goal attempt.
Lonsinski has the snap. Fires to the sideline. Has his man, Dre Wilk. And he gets out of bounds inside the 20-yard line with 11 seconds to go. Nicely done.
Simple out pattern, just a little bit deeper. Dre Wilk showed good fingers, caught it on the fingertips, pulled it on in, secured the catch, stepped out of bounds. How much time? 11.1 seconds. with the timeout. Time for one more play. Can't suffer a sack.
So they're probably in field goal range for Brendan Hinkle. Like to get it a little closer. As Lonsinski has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Rolls right. Fires into traffic. Incomplete. Dangerous pass.
Yeah, Jim, Mathias was there and probably could have intercepted, except the defender, I believe it was Braden Boone, came on back and knocked it away from him. Lonsinski has had good moments. He's had a series of nice pass completions there. But they're worried about suffering a sack, looking to throw it away. Probably looked like he was going to throw the interception, but doesn't. They'll try the field goal from here.
And Hazleton area will use the timeout. They can use another one as well. Have one to go after this. We'll keep it here with 5.1 seconds remaining. This is a nice drive by Berwick.
Yeah.
Got a lot of sideline passes to keep this one going.
Yeah, and deeper downfield, not just that little spit past the line of scrimmage. We saw them hit Trey Wilk with one that he ran and got the chains with his running ability. But other than that, it's been outs and crossing patterns toward the sideline that he's been able to hit Spencer Kishbaugh and then hit Trey Wilk.
Brendan Hinkle, 2 for 2 and extra points last week, 4 for 4 now on the season. Has had a couple of field goals in his career. Boone will hold. The hold will be at the 27. So this is a 37-yard field goal attempt for the lead. With 5.1 seconds remaining, and Hazleton area will use that final timeout.
Would you, Jim, if you were coaching?
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
What do you have to lose?
My respect. I just feel it's not helping you all that much. Brendan Hinkle's been in this position before. You're eventually going to kick it. You have your mind set. The one timeout maybe to think of freezing him, put a little more in his head. 2 of them, I just find it annoying to the fans. But that's me.
That's just one opinion. 5.1 seconds. Boy, this would be a huge lift for Berwick to go in with the lead. Hazleton area will get the football to start the second half.
Kicking it from the right hash, but it's a right-footed kicker will approach the ball, and that's sort of the normal type of angle that you can go with. High school the hashes are a little bit wider, I believe, than the college game or the pro game for sure.
So we'll see how this one goes. Again, the hold at the 27. Straight on, 37-yard field goal attempt by Brendan Hinkle, the senior.
A little bit of the right hash.
Snap placement, little bit of hesitation, and then the kick is blocked. I don't think the hold was as good as it might be, because Hinkle started, and then he had to stop and start again as the first half comes to an end with the score. Berwick 14. Hazleton area 14. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
The community of Berwick knows Bulldog tough. So when it's time to remodel your garage or replace your overhead door, go with the quality doors and service the Red Ribbon represents. Look for the Red Ribbon logo. It's a symbol of 100 years of great doors, great installation, and great service. Give Overhead Door Company of Berwick a call, 570-759-3053, or visit their website at ohdberwick.com. Overhead Door Company of Berwick proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs.
If you haven't been to name brand liquidations in the Berwick Plaza Shopping Center, you're missing out on great values. At name brand liquidations, you'll save money from 50 to 90% on everything imaginable. From furniture to food to bedding, you name it. Name brand liquidations not only sells a huge variety of merchandise, they feature name brands just like their name says, at low prices. When you're in the market for anything, shop at the store that has everything. Name brand liquidations. Wishing the Berwick Bulldogs a great season.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Halftime from Crispin Field, Berwick and Hazleton area. Knotted in a 14-14 tie. Bulldogs put together a long drive in their second possession of this game. 10 plays, 83 yards. There was a 15-yard pass to Aiden Mason. Also a 23-yard run by Aiden. And then a pass of 31 yards from Matt Lunzinski to Benny Knorr. Eventually, Aiden Mason went in from the 4-yard line for the touchdown with 2:54 to go in the opening quarter. Brendan Hinkle had the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead. Hazleton area came back in a hurry. 3 plays, 74 yards. All 74 yards attributed to Ryan Matthews. A 59-yard run from scrimmage and then a 15-yard reception for the touchdown from Tyler Wolfe. Luke Russo kicked the extra point. 1:38 to go in the opening quarter. Score was tied at 7. Berwick came right back. Dre Wilk, a 40-yard kick return to the 43-yard line of the Bulldogs. Later, a 54-yard pass reception. Matt Lunzinski to Spencer Kishbaugh. Aiden Mason took it from 4 yards out for the touchdown. 1:09 to go in the opening quarter. Brendan Hinkle's extra point made it Berwick 14 and Hazleton area 7. In the second quarter, Hazleton area at the Berwick 45 and a 4th and 3. Tyler Wolfe stopped short. Berwick took over, got into Hazleton area territory, looked like they were going to add to the lead, but then a 17-yard holding call against the Bulldogs set them back, and then Matt Lozinski tried to force the issue. His pass was picked off by Matt Kusatis, returned to the Berwick 38-yard line, and 3 plays later, a 31-yard touchdown pass, Tyler Wolfe to that Matt Kusatis. Luke Russo with the extra point, 5:51 to go in the second. Score was tied at 14. Berwick got the ball one more time in the half, drove from their own 41 to the Hazleton area 19-yard line with 5.1 seconds to go. They brought on Brendan Hinkle to attempt a 37-yard field goal. He started toward the ball. Then there was some problem with the hold. He had to start again. The kick was blocked, and we end the half knotted. Berwick 14, Hazleton area 14. Andy, for 2 teams that came into this game really struggling offensively, there was a lot of offense in that first half.
Yeah, there was a lot of big plays and a lot of offense. We'll get to the stats soon, Jim, but Berwick, that had 124 yards on the game average in the first 2 games, has 244 here at halftime. And Hazleton has 122. So there's been a lot of offense, a lot of big plays. Both teams doing it a little bit differently. I think Berwick with its power game coming at you and some successful passing, surprisingly successful passing. And Hazleton going more with a finesse game, a little more deception, trying to get you thinking one way and coming at you another. It's been a nice coaching matchup, too. Let's take a look at the stats. I mentioned 244 yards for Berwick, 122 yards in offense for Hazleton area. For Hazleton, 12 rushes, 88 positive yards. Quarterback Tyler Wolfe suffered a huge sack, minus 14 net for him. So a net for the team of 74 yards on the ground. When you consider of that 74, 59 came on Ryan Matthews' burst. It's very limited otherwise in the running game for Hazleton. They've been forced to pretty much give up the standard running game, try some reverses, try some different things to meet with success. Quarterback Tyler Wolfe is 4 of 5 passing, no interceptions, and 48 yards in the air. Surprisingly, the leading receiver for the team, Connor Shamani, does not have a catch. Look for them to try to rectify that situation, put that star back into the game plan here in the second half. Ryan Matthews got a 15-yard pass, scored a touchdown on that. Matthew Buckman out of the backfield caught one for 6 yards. And Matthew Casares, looking very impressive defensively and offensively. 2 catches for a net of 27, including his 31-yard touchdown burst. So 48 yards in the air on 4 completions and 5 attempts. 74 yards on the ground. Hazleton has 122 here at halftime, but they have 14 points. Berwick has exactly double the yardage. Not 122, but 244, but the same amount of points, 14. Berwick has 75 yards on the ground, 169 in the air. The air is the impressive part. Berwick was only averaging 38.5 yards a game. Here at halftime, 169 in the passing game. Looking at it, Matt Lonzinski has thrown, I have 10 of 13. No, that's not right. I got to recount. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My incompletes are off, obviously. But he does have 10 completes, 1 interception, and 169 yards. Trey Wilk has caught 3 for 34. Again, mostly short passes, trying to get him with the run after the catch, his longest a 15-yarder. Benny Knorr has 2 catches for 42 yards, a 31-yarder and an 11-yarder. Braden Boone caught 1 for 3. Spencer Kishbaugh, 3 catches for 75 yards. And Aiden Mason caught 1 for 15. 169 in the air for Berwick. On the ground, 75. Aiden Mason leading the way, 12 carries, 52 yards from the running back position. Trey Wilk took a 9-yarder on a little reversing action, jet sweep. Benny Knorr has 5 carries for 13 yards, most of those coming out of the Wildcat. Ryan Bankus just a 1 carry for 1 yard as he was stopped. So for Berwick, 19 rushes for 75 yards, 169 in the air, a total of 244. Doubles the 122 output of Hazleton, but we're tied here at halftime, Jim.
Yeah, the interception by Casares, a big turnover in the game. But,
yeah, you just got to watch. You know, sometime you're on that little bit of a hot streak and you think anything you're going to throw is going to get where you want it to, but he was under duress, tried to get rid of the ball, and it ends up in the hands of the Hazleton player, who's quite a player. Great speed that he's shown on the return, and then later on his touchdown. He's been a standout performer for Hazleton.
Very, very entertaining first half for 2 teams struggling coming in offensively. But again, this is week 3. Things have still to be worked out, and both teams have to feel very good about what their offenses did.
You know, it's easy sometimes. I sit up here and, you know, I've just watched college games. I watched a pro game last night, and you see a degree of execution. And you got to remember, these are 16, 17, 18-year-olds who haven't had that much of a chance to play. They don't even have the prolonged preseason we used to have. So there's going to be mistakes, and you have to try to limit those mistakes, but there's also been some stellar play as well. I think it's been an extremely entertaining game. Berwick does have the edge, though, Jim. They've doubled Hazleton in offensive output. They need to come out, limit mistakes, continue their excellent play in the other phases, and they should be able to move ahead and stay ahead in this one.
At the half, Berwick 14, Hazleton area 14. Stay with us. We'll be checking in with Raven Klein and scores of other games coming up shortly. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
When you need insurance, contact the experienced agents of Billig Helms Insurance. Serving the greater Hazleton area and all of Northeast PA, Billig Helms Insurance is family-owned and operated since 1902. Billig Helms Insurance, providing insurance policies to protect your personal and small business assets with free no-obligation quotes and the best rates anywhere. Billig Helms Insurance, 200 West 21st Street in Hazleton. Go to billighelms.com. 570-454-5000.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
If you're looking for a used car or truck in the Hazleton area, look first at BLB Auto Sales, Route 940 in Harley. BLB is a division of Barbush Automotive, and they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember their motto, we do it all, just call 570-454-7571 for a full line of services including safety and emissions inspections and everything for your car. BLB Auto Sales, Route 940, Harley.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Into Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick. Weekend number 3 of the high school football season. At the half, Berwick and Hazleton area locked in a 14-14 tie. For an update on other scores, let's return to the studios of HLM and Raven Klein.
Thank you very much, Jim. In high school football tonight, at half, Southern Columbia leads Loyalsock 35-15. At half, Troy leads Central Columbia 21-0. At half, Central Mountain leads Bloomsburg 14-0. At half, Sayre leads Columbia Montour Votech 30-0. At half, Williamsport leads Mifflin County 10-0. At half, Tunkhannock leads Crestwood 23-0. At half, Dallas leads Wilkes-Barre area 38-0. At half, Wyoming area leads Nanticoke 40-0. At half, Milton leads Holy Redeemer 21-6. At half, North Schuylkill leads Jim Thorpe 21-7. At half, Jersey Shore leads Montoursville 10-7. And at half, Montgomery leads Warrior Run 20-7. Back to you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Raven. And if you were listening for a Selinsgrove-Shamokin game, you didn't hear it for a good reason. Shamokin area is having some problems with their lights at Kent Memorial Stadium. So that will be a day game tomorrow. Selinsgrove at Shamokin. That's significant where Berwick is concerned because Selinsgrove, the next opponent for the Bulldogs, Seals will go in with a 0-2 record into that game tomorrow afternoon. However, they're coming off a real tough effort against a very good Jersey Shore team, losing that one by a score of 9-7. Also, if you're listening for a Danville score, they were originally scheduled to play Lewisburg High School tonight at Bucknell University, but the COVID situation with Lewisburg, they can't play. And then Danville found out that Hughesville was scheduled to play Wellsboro, and Wellsboro couldn't play because of COVID protocols. So Danville and Hughesville got together, and they will play tomorrow night at Danville. I think teams learned a lesson last year. You have to be flexible. And when you lose a game, you try to find a like opponent. Thankfully, Danville and Lewisburg got together. That's what will happen. Here at Crispin Field, it's tied at 14. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Blaze Alexander here, and I'm getting ready for hunting season with my dog Lyle. Lyle and I don't want you getting stuck in the woods with your old truck, so why not come into one of our dealerships and check out all these different brands of trucks that we have for you. The all-new Ford Ranger, Ram, Nissan Titan, Gladiator, F-150, Chevy Heavy Duty, Colorado, GMC, Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra. See them all today at BlazeTrucks.com. That's right. We'll always offer the lowest price, guaranteed, or we'll pay you $1,000.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick and Hazleton area locked at a 14-14 tie. We're moments away from the kickoff to start this second half. Andy mentioned the 244 total offense yards for Berwick in that opening half. They had a total of 130 in the first two games combined. So what a turnaround for the Bulldogs, and yet they are locked in a tie, and Hazleton area will get the football to start the second half. They'll move from our right to our left. Matt Buckman and Matt Casadas deep for the Cougars. And what we've seen of Casadas in this game, not sure Berwick wants him to have the ball in this kickoff.
I would not. I'd take my chances with the other guy.
Brendan Hinkle has his signal from the officials. Second half underway. Low line drive kick. High hop for Buckman up the middle to 12. To the 15 and brought down at the 21-yard line. What a terrific tackle in the open field.
Yeah, get that number, Jim. It's number 33 for Berwick, and that is James DeAndre. We saw him play a little fullback, and we saw him in the scrim. He's quite a hitter. He just caught him, stood him up, chest to chest, and put him on down with a body slap.
First and 10, Cougars at their 21-yard line. Tyler Wolfe, first-year quarterback, at the controls. He's got a slot to the right and a wide receiver left. And he's back to throw off play action. Hit as he gets the pass away. It wobbles downfield, and it's incomplete. Intended for Connor Shimani. Boy, someone lowered the boom on Tyler Wolfe. I lost it when I watched the pass go downfield, but he just barely got that pass away and took a real hit. I believe it was Bruce Hartman, number 65.
They realized, Hazleton did, that Shimani has not been involved in the offense. He's their star receiver. They decided to go in deep down the middle, posting, and Berwick had people in the area to be able to knock it away. But they decided we're going to air it out right now and get Shimani involved.
Second down and 10. Christian Price wide left. Shimani outside Casadas, a slot to the right. From the 21-yard line. Matthews comes in motion. Bookman gets the call off the left side. Hartman's the first one there to get him. Is to pick up just a couple to the 23.
They have not had success. Matt Bookman on the first half, 6 carries for 7 yards. Give him one more now, so 7 carries for a 2-yard gain, 9 yards for him. Trey Will coming up very quickly as well from the safety position, playing it almost like a linebacker, but Hartman slowing it down, and it's just narrowing the seams with the whole defensive front.
So the first big call of the second half, 3rd and 8, Hazleton at their own 23-yard line. Slot to the right. Price wide left. Wolfe out of the gun, has the snap. Quick out to the far side, has his man Cusatis, turns the corner, has the first down and then some. Oh, he's just so quick. Berwick looked like they had the angle after he caught the pass. He made up that angle and then some, and it's a first down for the Cougars.
He is good, Jim. They had to get him involved. We noticed that at halftime, and here they go to their go-to man on a 3rd down. Rowan Slabinski eventually giving him the push out of bounds into the Hazleton bench to prevent him from taking it any further.
16 yards on the reception. 1st and 10. Cougars at their own 39-yard line. Just underway here in the second half with the score tied at 14. Wolfe gives on a draw play to Bookman. Has some room off the right side. Has the first down and then some. Down the far side, 35, and we'll see where they marked him out of bounds. For one of the few effective running plays for Hazleton area in this game.
They have to leave the standard game plan, Jim, and go with the draw. They were able to get him step up and then bounce outside. And people sort of mistakenly underestimated his speed as he ran by a couple different angles, danced that sideline untouched, but they're going to limit it here where they spotted at the 38-yard line.
23 yards on the carry by Matthew Bookman and Hazleton. Threatening at the Berwick 38-yard line. Cougars have not led in this game. Call goes straight ahead and nothing doing. Maybe the loss of the yard on the play as Matthews got the call.
Yep, they haven't gone to him since his 59-yard burst after Bookman sort of wins himself on that long run. You like to vary the running game a little bit. And here they came to it. Watch for them going back to Connor Shamani. He's the dangerous wide receiver. They've tried mixing in the run, but keep an eye on Shamani. He's the bread and butter.
He's wide to the right. Cusatis has been that bread and butter tonight, but they go to Shamani on the far side. He's bulldogged down about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line by Benny Knorr.
And nice man-to-man coverage. You know, if they can execute it perfectly, they're going to complete it at 5 and, you know, turn it upfield for 6. But it's still going to be a 3rd and a long 4 here.
Clock running, 9:50 remaining in this 3rd quarter. Hazleton area with the ball at the Berwick 32-yard line. 3rd down and 4, probably 4-down territory for the Cougars.
Ball on the right hash, wide side of the field to the left, opposite Shamani.
Trips to the left. Wolfe fires to Cusatis, and he can't hang on. Had the ball in his hands, took a hit from Tristan English, so big call coming, and a decision coming. 4th and 4, Hazleton area at the Berwick 32-yard line.
They've been going it with this type of field position. I expect to see another passing play here. Does Berwick come with additional people to pressure this quarterback? Play up in the face of the receivers, hoping for a quick release.
4th down and 4. Big call coming early 3rd quarter. Connor Shamani wide to the right. Matt Cusatis in the slot to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Now Cusatis joins the quarterback in the backfield. They dump it off to him. Berwick has it read, and they get him out of bounds. They stop the play.
Yes, they do. Outside linebacker Benny Knorr saw it very, very clearly. It had almost the look of option, but with the quarterback taking it wide and then a little overhand toss to the man in the backfield, Cusatis with him. Defensive end on that side played it well as well. Benny Knorr there to put a stop to it and turn it over to the offense.
So Berwick will take over at their own 34-yard line with 9:27 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the score tied at 14. 1st and 10, Bulldogs. Again, 244 yards of total offense in that opening half. as Matt Linsinski takes the snap, hands off to Mason off the right side. He's got running 45 to midfield and to the Cougar 47-yard line.
Estimated about 18 yards. Trey Wilk was inside, almost like an H-back, and he was able to get the stock block on the man who had to contain that. He couldn't. Aiden Mason gets the soft corner, and he extends that run nicely.
17 yards in the carry by Aiden Mason. He's such a power back, you forget the speed he has. He showed some of it there at the Cougar 49-yard line. Slot to the right. Benny Knorr comes in motion. Hand off to him. Looks for some running room. Not much there. Gets about 2. And continuing into Hazleton area territory.
They want to involve him in the offense. Sometimes you look at halftime and you say, who haven't we given the ball to? Who needs to be involved a little bit more? And Benny Knorr is that man for Berwick. Hazleton, I think, was probably surprised. Hey, we haven't hit Connor Shamani with a pass. So here in their opening drive, 2 passes for 22 yards to Shamani.
2nd down and 9. Berwick at the Cougar 48-yard line. Trey Wilk wide to the right side. Knorr in a slot to that side. Lonzinski gives the ball to Mason up the middle. Aiden Mason with a good effort. 2nd and 3rd effort near the Hazleton area 42-yard line.
And that was basically straight ahead. So Bruce Hartman at center, Liam Carroll at guard, Jay Shucker at guard. Credit the tackles as well, and Cunningham and Unger. And there was no other blocking, no other deception. Just run him, find the seam, and he gets a 7-yard burst out of that.
3rd down and 4. Berwick at the Cougar 43-yard line. A call early in this 3rd quarter for the Dogs. And now it is Benny Knorr in the Wildcat. Awaits the snap. Trey Wilk goes in motion. Handoff to Wilk. He's in trouble. Gets ahead for maybe a yard. Hazleton area read that one very, very well.
Very visible, Jim. He's coming in motion. There's a mesh with Benny Knorr at the quarterback position. You can sense they're going to give it to him. So everyone can pretty easily flow to the football, and that'll force a punt out of Berwick.
Yeah, 4th and 4. It's a decision, but they're going to go with the punt from the Hazleton area 43-yard line.
Not the worst place for a fake punt, but I'd punt this one away.
Knorr gets the snap, gets the kick away. End over end, inside the 10, inside the 5, still rolling, down at the 1-yard line. Benny Knorr with a terrific punt. Berwick with good coverage.
Ethan Lear, we mentioned him before on punt coverage, him getting down and making sure nothing happens, no one picks it up. He was able to let that roll from the 7 to the 5 to the 4 to the 3 to the 2. And he's just straddling it and stopping it as close to the goal line as he can. It's comfortably inside the 1, almost the nose of the ball on the goal line where he downed it.
So that's where the Cougars have it with 6:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. And the score tied at 14.
And if Hazleton's not careful, it could be a 16-14 with them punting the ball back after a safety. They're in a very dangerous area.
Bookman to the right of Tyler Wolfe, who operates out of the gun. And he's going to throw it long downfield on the left side. Has a man over the shoulder catch over the 40 out to the 45-yard line. How about that? Connor Shamani on the grab as Hazleton area goes long from their own end zone.
That they do, Jim. Afforded enough protection, keeping some people in to block. Quarterback shows courage to hold it. Let his receiver get a step on the coverage, and Shamani can do that as he's going to make that a 45-yard reception.
Out to the 45, so give him 44 to be exact, as Wolfe gives on the draw to Buckman. The ball is loose. The scramble on at the 45-yard line. Buckman never really secured it. Berwick indicating they have it. We'll wait for the officials to tell us.
Everything that Berwick showed saw that it was loose and they got it. I don't think the officials were even where it was loose. Now they do show it. Berwick football.
Bulldogs recover the fumble in Cougar territory, so they get it right back.
And they could use that turn of events after the long 44-yard reception out of their own end zone that Shamani was able to catch. Bookman had a little bit of a delay. Berwick forces it out, wins the scramble underneath, gets the football, and gives their offense an opportunity in the Hazleton defensive side of the football.
It didn't look like Matthew Bookman ever had a real grip on that one, on the draw play that had worked effectively before. Berwick takes over. 6:07 to go in the third. Score tied at 14. They have it at the Hazleton area 46-yard line. Toss, sweep right side to Aiden Mason. He almost lost that football, and then he's buried for a loss of a yard on the play. He was juggling it when contact was made.
Raymond Abreu chasing it down. Noticed a little bit of a delay, but Aiden Mason able to secure it. They'll happily take a 1-yard loss on that play, but he maintains possession of the football on a tough pitch.
Boy, momentum shifts in this third quarter.
Back and forth.
The punt to the 1-yard line. Berwick's all pumped up about that. Then the 44-yard pass completion for Hazleton area. They're pumped about that. Then the fumble recovery by Berwick. So back and forth we go, but we remain tied at 14.
And a wasted play. Berwick has to recoup now on a 2nd and 10.
Onzinski has the snap, throws incomplete, and it's just as well because Hazleton was all over that pass intended for Taji Taylor.
He stepped back from tight end, let a few people get in front of him, probably to left tackle and left guard. But Hazleton was able to see it, telegraphed pretty quickly at the snap. And you're right, it was a low pass, one that he couldn't scoop up, and probably best it's dropped.
3rd down and 11. Bulldogs at the Cougar 47-yard line.
Most likely a passing situation. If you're going to try aggressively to convert this, keep an eye on a guy like Spencer Tishbach. Using his height, we saw him on a crossing pattern earlier, or watch him down the seam.
He is on a wing to the right side. There's a slot to that side as well. Onzinski on 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Big pass rush. He's going to be sacked back at the 44-yard line.
Oh, they came hard. Jim Beltray was the man who really belted him at the end of that. No time to get the pass off. Blindsided, coming from his left. The sack will lose about 12 yards, and Berwick will be forced to punt.
So after lots of offense in that opening half, the defenses have taken charge here in the third, with the clock running and 4:45 remaining.
Give Lonzinski a lot of credit not to fumble that as he's blindsided on the sack.
Good snap to Knorr, who gets the kick away. And on the far side, it's the return by Matt Bookman, hit hard, forced out of bounds. Pretty good field position for the Cougars around their 38-yard line. 4:30 remaining in the third quarter play. Hazleton area takes over, score tied at 14.
And what do we see offensively? Their running game has not really generated much outside of a surprise play here and there. One little draw they tried to duplicate turned into a fumble on the last series. We've seen them dive Mathias, who went for 59 yards, but I don't think you're going to see that again. They won't ignore him. So the running game hasn't been there. I'd expect to see them passing, and they've been involving their star, Connor Shamani, in this half.
Yeah, they have 2 stars. Matt Cusatis, the other one is the far left. As the call goes to Bookman, Bookman straight ahead. Good effort by him to get over the 40, maybe the 41-yard line.
It was. They created a seam right over the right tackle for him, and he ran with authority. Eventually met back there in the secondary. Then he got 4 yards. I thought he had a little bit more than that. But Berwick coming up.
2nd down and 6. Hazleton area trying for their first win of the season. Lost their first two very good teams in Wyoming area and Harrisburg High. Now locked in a 14-all tie with Berwick here with under 4 to go in the third quarter. Wolfe has the shotgun snap, and he's looking long for Cusatis. 1-on-1 against the Braden Boone, and a flag down on Boone, who never really found the football.
No, he knew it was coming, by the way. Cusatis was reacting. And as Cusatis sort of slowed down to make the catch, Boone, whose back is to the play, kind of tries to, well, doesn't try, but ends up running through him. So obvious contact. You don't have face masking. We have another late flag being thrown now.
This is going to be big. This is going to be much bigger than the interference if this is unsportsmanlike against Berwick.
Yeah.
Which is all it could be that far after the play. That's a huge call. That is a huge call. Whoever's responsible for that one better have some explaining to do, because, you know, it's the law, the interference isn't as bad as it is in the pros.
Right.
You don't get it at the spot of the foul. So that wasn't going to be bad. Now it's really bad.
Yeah, because you're going to get the yardage for the pass interference from the spot, but then add another 15 to that. Didn't quite catch who the player was. Tajee Taylor was out trying to explain the case, but then calmed down a player and sort of usher him toward the sideline. So losing your cool doesn't help you win football games. And who would argue it wasn't on the defender on the pass arguing the call? It was someone else must have said, I'm being held a little too aggressively.
Hazleton at the Berwick 28. Wolfe has the snap. Back to throw. He's going to carry it 25-20 and cut down at the 18-yard line. Tyler Wolfe had 4 receivers to the left. Instead, carried the ball himself. There's a Bulldog injured on the play. They're going to mark the ball down around the 17-yard line, 11 yards in the carry by Tyler Wolfe.
It was a quarterback draw by design, Jim, and he really sold it with his fake. He took it off the right side after the delay. Berwick's back in its pass drops. They let some pass rushers come and create a natural seam. He showed good quicks to get it on there. Rowan Slapinski eventually coming over and making the tackle. Player who's hurt for Berwick was injured up near the line of scrimmage.
3:35 to go in the third. Timeout on the field. Score tied at 14. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLN.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Lehigh Valley Health Network has some great news for residents of Greater Hazleton and surrounding communities. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is now located in the Humboldt Industrial Park at Station Circle in Hazel Township. Their orthopedics and sports medicine experts provide complete orthopedic care and accept most insurances, including Geisinger Gold. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, your partners in orthopedic care. To learn more, visit lvhn.org/orthopedics or call 570-861-8710.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bluesburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Injured player on the field is Bruce Hartman for the Bulldogs. They're still looking at him down the 35-yard line. He was on his feet trying to get to the sideline, but then couldn't.
They were working it like it was a cramp in his left calf chip. They were massaging it. They're pulling the toe back, and they stood him up. And he tried to walk, and that Charlie horse knotted up so bad he couldn't put any weight on it. They tried to massage it while he stood. Two-way player who does the snapping for Berwick on punts as well as in shotgun situations. He is being helped off and getting a little more mobility as that cramp seems to be working out. But you don't want to go into the offensive mode without your starting center. And you certainly don't want to punt without your starting snapper for long snaps. Berwick's first priority, though, is going to be to stop Hazleton, who's worked it down inside the red zone.
Cougars have it at the Bulldogs' 17-yard line with a first down. Score tied at 14. Hazleton area has never led in this game. Kusatis comes in motion. A fake to him. Wolfe back to throw. Firing to the end zone. Incomplete. Deep in the end zone. Good coverage down there.
Trey Wilk is in there, Jim, on Christian Price, yes, and they worked the back line very, very well. Thrown where it was going to be caught in the end zone because of the good coverage.
Jim DeAndra comes in. He'll be in that defensive line for Berwick now on second down and 10. Cougars at the 17, well within a field goal range by Luke Russo, but obviously the Cougars want more than that.
Yeah, but they don't want to lose out on the opportunity for the field goal attempt either in a game that's tied at 14 as things are sort of running down in the third quarter.
Slot to the right side, wide receiver left. Wolfe has the shotgun snap, pitches the ball to Casadas. Casadas has got a world of speed. He gets inside the 15, down around the 11-yard line.
Trey Wilk had to come up from safety. Berwick was stringing it out, and then Casadas cuts back against the grain. Wilk comes on in. What are they going to measure that as, Jim?
Six. Third down and 4 coming for the Cougars.
The problem, too, is you sort of shorten that field goal distance as well. If you don't get this, even if you get 2 or 3 yards, I think you try the kick to break the tie rather than try for the chains and try to continue for the touchdown.
3rd and 4. Shimani wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Wolfe has the snap. Berwick coming hard. His pass gets away. A big hit right about the stick. Hazleton might have the first down.
6 on 6. Shimani takes the shot from Rowan Slavinsky. They are going to lay down the chains, which indicates the first down. So they're going to have it 1st and goal from about the 6.
Boy, that was nicely done.
Yep.
Covered well by the Bulldogs, but they pick up 5. They needed 4. 1st down and goal for the Cougars.
Yeah, nice timing, nice execution. Veteran receiver, young quarterback who's been looking strong throughout this game, delivered it on the money. And even though the hard hit comes, that's stopping the Shades.
Wolfe back to throw, fires incomplete. What a dangerous pass going to one of 4 receivers to the left. And Spencer Kishbaugh was in the area.
And Spencer Kishbaugh in the area has broken up that type of pass before as well. I think they wanted to hit Bookman and give him a screen of the other receivers. We've seen them try it before, and Kishbaugh broke it up then by tipping it. Here he breaks it up again.
2nd down and goal. Cougars at the 6. Again, 4 receivers to the left. Wolfe fakes, keeps the football, gets inside the 5, gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Nicely done by Tyler Wolfe.
Wonderful call by the coaching staff to go to the quarterback draw. Shimani has one-on-one coverage on the side to which he ran. That corner can't really leave that responsibility. He's anticipating pass to the dangerous receiver. Enough of a fake to draw the pass rush. He takes it on a seam off the right side and is able to spin his way on into the end zone.
62-yard touchdown drive to give the Cougars their first lead of this game. Luke Russo will attempt the extra point.
Big point.
Snap. Placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 1:54 to go in the 3rd. Hazleton area, 21. Berwick, 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
7 play, 62-yard drive by the Cougars of Hazleton area. They take the lead. Tyler Wolfe, their quarterback, with a 6-yard run, capping the drive. 21-14. They lead it. And we'll have to wait and see who Berwick goes with the center if Bruce Hartman is not able to go when the Bulldogs get it on offense. Russo will kick it off. And, boy, how big was the penalty on that drive? And the interference was one thing. 15 yards added on to that made it a 30-yard gain, the biggest play of that drive.
Significant. You cannot lose your head. It's a matter of discipline, and Berwick lost their discipline there.
Russo's Short kick, hops high to the far side. Dive by a Berwick player to get it at the 27-yard line.
Tristan English was approaching it, tripped, and turned it into a dive to recover it. Up man let it go and get back to him. I think the man should have just tried to play it more aggressively. So a squibby-type kick from a guy with a very powerful leg, I believe by design, putting it along the ground, not wanting to risk a return by someone like Dre Wilk.
1:54 to go in the third. Berwick trailing for the first time in this game.
65 not coming into center, Jim, so we'll have to see who's doing the snapping.
Looks like Andrew
Blockus, 54.
So he is the center on this series. I formation. The call goes off the right side to Aiden Mason. Good effort by him. First down out near the 39-yard line.
And a good effort by the right side of the line. Blockus, of course, has to snap, and they don't want to go shotgun. It's a little trickier. So directly under center to Lonzinski, and then a physical handoff to Aiden Mason. Getting the blocks of Chase Shucker, Xander Unger off the right side.
12 yards on the carry by Aiden Mason.
85 yards on the game for him.
Again, Lonzinski under center. Tristan English is the tailback in the eye. Mason gets the call, has another good gain out near another first down straight ahead. Berwick playing power football at the moment.
Yeah, and I think you have to. I think you have to get under center and take the direct snap. You don't want a new center who hasn't done much shotgun snapping. Give it to the tried and true workhorse back and Aiden Mason and put it to the blockers. And again, off the right side with Shuckers and Unger. And, of course, Tristan English in on that side, mixing it up with people. Probably Kishbaugh in there. See where he lines up. He gives them a force.
9 yards on the carry. 2nd and 1 from the 48-yard line. Again, the I formation, and Berwick clinches. This will be a huge penalty. They had it going on the ground, and now they're going to have to make it up. And, boy, when you're running this kind of offense at this time, you just can't do that.
Well, you can't, but you had a 10-yard gain and a 9-yard gain, and you hope you can keep that type of thing up and make up the 5 of the penalty. They'll need 6 or 7. But, yeah, the H-back flinched out of his stance. That's going to set them back. But you got to, rally the troops here. Say, look, guys, we can do this. Question of what are you going to do? I don't think they're comfortable with Lonzinski leaving with the center snap and getting into a passing range. Watch him run again.
He is under center again. The call goes to Aiden Mason off the right side over midfield and has the first down near the Cougars' 46-yard line. Good blocking off the right side. Aiden Mason putting together a great night.
Yes, he is. That'll be a 100-yard game for him once we march this one off. He was 6 yards short, and that was comfortably more. Again, I think you're going to get a little predictable. There's nothing wrong with that if the predictability of the play happens to be working. I think Aiden Mason off the right side. You put your strongest blockers. You let Tristan English lead. You have Spencer Kishbaugh there. We're going to end the quarter.
3 quarters in the books here, Crispin Field. Hazleton area 21, Berwick 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLM.
When you need insurance, contact the experienced agents of Billig Helms Insurance. Serving the greater Hazleton area and all of Northeast PA, Billig Helms Insurance is family-owned and operated since 1902. Billig Helms Insurance, providing insurance policies to protect your personal and small business assets with free no-obligation quotes and the best rates anywhere. Billig Helms Insurance, 200 West 21st Street in Hazleton. Go to billighelms.com. 570-454-5000.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
3 quarters in the books here at Crispin Field. Hazleton area leading Berwick 21-14. But Berwick moving the ball on the ground in the latter stages of that third quarter. And they'll start this final period with a first down at the Hazleton area 47-yard line.
Don't get anything too tricky in your head. I think Berwick is going to be forced into a simplistic game plan because of the loss of center Bruce Hartman. You end up with Andrew Blockus in there. You have to take direct snap from center. I think it limits Lonzinski's game. He's not going to throw from shotgun. I think you go with what's working. Keep feeding Aiden Mason the football.
Again, the I formation. And the call goes to Mason, trying to get outside left, has the corner, 45, 40, and steps out of bounds at around the 34-yard line, 13 yards for Aiden Mason.
He had 102, so now he has 115 on 19 carries, Jim. They're getting good blocks up front. They're engaging people, not necessarily driving them, but you don't need to. Get man on man, then use the speed of Aiden Mason, who's able to get the corner and turn it upfield very nicely.
1st and 10, Berwick at the Cougar 34-yard line. Tristan English continues as the fullback ahead of Mason in the I. The call goes to Mason off the right side. He'll pick up a couple. This time the Cougars get about 5 hats to the ball and limit it to a short gain.
Short is about 3, and Berwick will take that at this point on a first down carry. Different look. Instead of running to the left, which we've been seeing, they went to the short side, away from the formation. Fullback still leads. Kishbaugh still at the point of attack, but not enough inside, not enough of a seam to spring Mason there.
2nd down and 7. Berwick at the Hazleton area 31-yard line. Just underway here in the final period. Bulldogs trail by 7. Blockus with the snap. The handoff to Mason off the left side. Breaks one tackle and then is hit hard as he gets inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Hazleton's going to gear up now, bring all 11 up to stop the run. And I think if I'm Berwick, I still go with that run. They're coming up a little bit tougher. We're not getting the seam. They're following Tristan English as an I formation fullback to the point of attack. They have Kishbaugh out at that point, near the point of attack. That often telegraphs where you want to go. So it's physical mano-a-mano right now.
3rd and 4. Benny Knorr now is the tailback in the I formation. 3rd down call coming. He gets the call off the right side, tripped up short of the first down yardage. Gets to the 27, maybe the 26-yard line. It's going to be 4th and a couple for Berwick. 4th and 2 at the 26. Big call coming.
Yeah, Matthew Bookman slid inside and was able to make the tackle. I'd want the running quarterback. I think at this point I'd want to see Benny Knorr in the Wildcat to give me options. Now, Wildcat usually indicates that you're going to go with that shotgun snap. So does that limit the play call?
Knorr is not in there. Aiden Mason is back in for this 4th and 2 at the Hazleton area 26-yard line. I formation behind quarterback Matt Lunsinski. 4th down call coming. Lunsinski gives it to Mason, looking for the first down yards. He won't get there. Big stop by the Cougars.
Huge stop by the Cougars, Jim. You know, sometimes it's you go with what's your best play. You want to run behind Tristan English and Kishbaugh. You want to use the blocking, but Hazleton knows you're going to do that. They came up and they made the stop that they needed to make.
4th and 2. There was no gain on that play, and the Cougars take over at their 26-yard line with 9:29 to go in the game, and they lead Berwick by a score of 21-14.
Berwick needs a quick defense. They need a 3-and-out. They'd like an impact play. They'd love a turnover if they can get one. Watch Hazleton to play this a little bit conservatively with the touchdown lead.
Wolfe, play action. No conservative. Hits Matt Casadas. And Casadas, good second effort, gets out to the 35-yard line. Good first down play. James DeAndra is playing that defensive tackle position in place of the injured Bruce Hartman.
A short throw, hoping Casadas could catch it and run. He's going to stretch that for a 9-yard gain as he keeps his feet and powers.
Under 9 to play. Berwick, a lot of offense in that first half, but nothing on the scoreboard here in the second half.
I mentioned you might see more conservative game planning, but that doesn't mean run. Run means 3 downs and punt. This team's not effective running. It's outside of the trick plays. But conservative might be safer-looking passes like that short one there.
2nd and 1. Berwick with the run blitz, but they can't stop Bookman for picking up the first down.
Might have run past him. They were blitzing at the point, and the run was just inside him with Bookman.
3 yards on the carry to the 38-yard line. First down and 10.
Hazleton taking their time. Quarterback Tyler Wolfe still with the coach on the sideline.
And I'll tell you what, for a first-year starter who didn't throw a single pass a year ago, he has a lot of moxie.
He has a lot of moxie. Throws a good ball. Throws safe passes. Runs nicely. Pocket presence is there. Pocket courage is there.
Give on the play to Bookman. Bookman has a head of steam and gets out near the 45-yard line. So Hazleton area struggling to run for most of this game. It's a big game there on first down for Bookman as they get 7 yards to the 45-yard line, 2nd and 3.
You mentioned Hazleton would like to go with a more conservative approach, but they haven't been able to be successful with the run, but yet they're trying it now. Is it a matter of fatigue? Is it a matter of adrenaline? Is it a matter of having the momentum and having the 7-point lead and putting it to your players and saying, hey, guys, we got to do this. Make it happen, and they made it happen there with Matt Bookman, one of his longest runs of the game.
2nd and 3. Trips to the right side. Casadas lines up to the right of Wolfe. Wolfe is going to option, keep the football, and it's going to be buried by Benny Noor, short of the first down yardage at about the 45. Little or no gain on the play.
He turned it inside, and Benny Noor just happened to be there. He wasn't playing option in any way. A little fake pitch outside, took the defensive end hacker wide, but Benny Noor filled and was able to drill Tyler Wolfe. I like the call. We mentioned this team has to use some deception, some trickery to make things happen. That type of play seemed to be executed properly, but Benny Noor able to put the stop to it.
He got a yard, so it's 3rd down and 2. Big call coming. Berwick needs the football. Clock running, 6:30 to go. They trail by 7. Cougars try to keep it going. Toss, sweep right side of Casadas. Berwick has it read well, and they're going to mark him out at the 46. That's no gain. 4th and 2 coming for the Cougars. How much of a gambler is Dennis Bookman?
Yeah, and it's decision time. You gamble and go for the 2 and then try to milk the clock down? Or is the better strategy punt it away and stop Berwick? I'd punt this here, Jim, but we'll see. They may bark the signals. There have been very few flags in the course of this game. Here comes the punting unit.
Yeah.
I think it's the safer, if you're trying to win the game, I think this is the way I'd go.
So will be a punting situation. Berwick has to guard against jumping across.
Yes.
As Russo back at his 33-yard line. Snap is a little bit high. Gets the kick away. Trey Wilk will field it on a high hop. They're out around the 12. Returns to the 15, to the 20, and out to the 21.
Nice play to be able to field that, Jim. Even though it's on the bounce, it's a little riskier. Another bounce or two if he doesn't field it, and that could be inside the 5. By fielding it where he did, he's able to move it upfield 7 or 8 yards, and that's a big difference in field position.
Tristan English is injured on the play. It may just be a cramp, but it'll be out for at least one play, and that is significant because the way Berwick's offense has been running of late, their effectiveness has been with Aiden Mason at the tailback and Tristan English at the fullback.
Injuries have sort of limited the playbook for Berwick. Lonzinski's going to have to be underneath center to get Blockus' snap. He's not going to be comfortable doing shotgun. With that, it takes away your single-back running game. It takes away some of the mobility of the quarterback, who does almost all of his passing that way. So you seem limited in the running game. And the running game has been effective until Hazleton's, so used to seeing it, saying that's what Berwick's going to have to do. We're going to play 11 against the run. Tristan English has been an impact player in leading from the fullback position at the point of attack. And in the physical type of game they were playing, he was making a lot to create some seams for Aiden Mason. He's up, but he's hopping. I think he needs to slow himself down and start putting that foot down. Work that Charlie horse out, Tristan. You're too important.
on offense and on defense should Hazleton get the ball back.
So we'll see if Berwick continues with the I formation, who the fullback would be. 6:07 remaining in the game. And Berwick trailing 21-14. The ball at the Bulldog 21-yard line.
No fullback.
One back. That's Aiden Mason. Under center is Lonzinski. Gives to Mason. Tries the right side, and Hazleton area is starting to catch on. No gain on the play, maybe lost a half yard.
Mason Mitchell came across on the sweeping action. There's only one back, so there's no deception. You see that he gets it. You come across, you play contain, he runs into you, you bring him down. Loss of a yard for Aiden Mason.
Mitchell Maston is a 5'11", 185-pound senior. Loss of 2, back to the 19. Second down and 12.
And you're at the point where they know you're running. They're playing everyone up against the run. You have to vary the offense and make something else happen.
Benny Knorr is in a slot to the left. Braden Boone outside of him. Second and 12. Lonzinski under center, drops straight back to throw. Hit as he gets it away to the far side. Sails over the head of Dre Wilk.
And he was being covered rather well. Tried to run a deep out pattern, was going to try to catch it about a yard short of the first down. Lonzinski looked good in the straight drop back. His footwork was good, but overthrown to the sideline where the coverage was very strong.
Yeah, good pass rush on him that time. Didn't catch the number of the Hazleton area player, but the heat was on. Matt Lonzinski. And now, kind of a desperate situation with Berwick. There is still 5:12 to go, and they do have their full complement of timeouts remaining. But if they can't convert on 3rd and 12, they're probably going to give Hazleton area the ball with pretty good field position.
And the fact that Hazleton was blitzing up the middle, kind of a run blitz as well as the pass blitz, accomplished both. You might see Berwick trying those inside seams with the wing-back tight ends, H-backs that we're seeing.
Slot to the left side. 3rd and 12. Lonzinski straight drop back to throw. Looking big pass rush. He'll be sacked back at the 10-yard line.
Yes, he will. Jim Beltray playing good defensive end. Got on in. Caught the quarterback who could not find the receiver open and sacks him for significant yardage. That'll force a punt.
And now check the long snapper. It usually is Bruce Hartman. He's out with an injury. Benny Knorr will do the punting, standing back near his goal line, and the Cougars figure to get great field position.
It is the backup quarterback, Ethan Lear, who we've seen, Jim. He's the backup punter. We've seen him with their backup snapper. We've seen him on nice coverage downfield. Now he needs the snap.
Good snap to Knorr in his end zone. High, short kick, fair catch. Matthew Bookman at the Berwick 43-yard line.
Surprised he went with the fair catch, but I think they're playing everything very safely and by the book. 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Don't risk the fumble on that punting catch, even if you have a clear 15 or 20 yards in front of you. They're going to put it to the offense to try to milk this clock on down.
And now the pressure on the Berwick defense. They need a stop in the worst way. Any points by Hazleton area on this drive would really make it tough on the Bulldogs. They do have a good kicker in Luke Russo.
Yep, you can't let them in field goal range for that attempt. You also have to keep your eye on the clock. You really want to force the 3-and-out. Hazleton's aware. We've been mentioning they're going to their version of a more conservative run-the-clock-down play. But they usually don't get much if they stick with that ground game, and they're forced into, safe passing situations.
Here we go. 1st and 10 Cougars at the Bulldog 43. 4:24 to go in the game. Wolfe has the snap, gives the ball to Bookman, and Bookman will get a couple to about the Berwick 42-yard line.
And Berwick tough on the inside, reading the run, seeing the mesh in the exchange, committing up. They'll give a yard, and they'll have to give up 30, 40 seconds of time.
They give it to the 41-yard line. It's a 2nd down and 8 for the Cougars as we go under 4 minutes remaining. Again, Berwick with their full complement of timeouts remaining, but you want to hang on to those as best you can.
No 40-second clock, so we can't visually see how much time is running off and how soon they need to get the play off. Sometimes I think the officials on the field have a little more liberty when there's no clocks that are visible.
Slot to the right side. Shimani outside of Casadas. Now Bookman goes in motion. 3 receivers to that side. They go to Matthews up the middle, and Deandra wraps him up as he gets to the 37-yard line, picks up about 4 on the play. 3rd down and 4 Cougars.
And again, the clock will continue running. 3 minutes and 14 seconds. They certainly would like to convert here on 3rd, and I think, Jim, if you get half of it, you go on 4th. Why a stoppage now?
Timeout Berwick. 3:07 remaining. 21-14 Cougars. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, is where you'll find Kyocera and CopyStar copy machines, service, and supplies. Think Tri-County Business Machines for office supplies and furniture, along with printers, fax machines, scanners, and even cash registers. Check out Tri-County's Copy Center for copying, scanning, and printing. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton. Call them 570-459-0754. Tri-County Business Machines, family owned since 1969.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick with 2 timeouts remaining. Hazleton area leading the Bulldogs 21-14. 3:07 to play. The ball at the Berwick 37-yard line. Following this Berwick timeout, Hazleton area will face a 3rd down and 4.
And if they don't get it, Jim, do they go for it on 4th down? It's not going to be field goal, and I don't know about punt. I might go for it on 4th down to try to milk that clock. Watch for the quarterback draw, Jim. It's a very deceptive play. Berwick has had trouble stopping it throughout the game.
3 receivers to the left. Wolfe gives the ball. The Bookman has some running room. Second effort. He's very close to a 1st down. Matthew Bookman. Good effort on his part. Berwick appeared to meet him at the 35-yard line, but that second effort did indeed pick up the 1st down.
Boy, that could be the killer. It was a very slow mesh, like the quarterback may pull it out and take it outside. I think he was reading to see if people were going to widen if he doesn't give it. He did make the give. Bookman ran for all he had, and that was a very important run to convert.
And now, barring a turnover, Berwick's going to have very little time if they do get the ball back. They have 2 timeouts remaining, but the clock is running. 2:35 to go. The Cougars at the Bulldog 33-yard line.
They'd like to keep it on the ground, to keep the clock moving. Berwick knows that.
Wolfe, play action, throws it into a crowd, and the ball is caught by Casadas, and he gets down to the 20-yard line.
Oh, boy.
Dangerous play.
Dangerous play because of the crowd, Jim, but they threw it with confidence, and while there are 3 or 4 people surrounding him, he catches it, puts on a speed, a little spin move, and gets good 12 yards or so. He's going to move the chains again.
Give him 13 to the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, high risk. I'm surprised they're throwing. I'm surprised they're not going to run that quarterback, and somewhere within this sequence, keep your eye on that quarterback draw.
He was not wide open.
No.
Cougars from the Berwick 20, 1:50 to go. And Wolfe on the quarterback draw is hit hard as he gets inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line.
You got to like that play at this time in the game because you're not risking an exchange. He gets the ball. It had been effective for yardage. You're only going to get about 2 on that, but you don't risk the fumble. Berwick uses its timeout, Jim.
1:32 to go. Bulldogs trail by 7. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
If you're looking for a used car or truck in the Hazleton area, look first at BLB Auto Sales, Route 940 in Harley. BLB is a division of Barbush Automotive, and they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember their motto, we do it all, just call 570-454-7571 for a full line of services including safety and emissions inspections and everything for your car. BLB Auto Sales, Route 940, Harley.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Hazleton area 2nd and 8 at the Berwick 18-yard line. A fumble on the play. Bookman goes back and gets it at the 31-yard line. Woo! And Berwick will use a timeout. We'll keep it here. The Bulldogs now out of timeouts. The only thing that could have kept Hazleton area from a win here was a turnover, and they came close to getting one there.
Came close. I took my eye off it, but it looked like a bad snap, Jim. Is that what it was?
It was.
Got by the quarterback, and hey, credit Tyler Wolfe. His numbers aren't going to be great in the course of this game, but for game management, making the right decisions, there he was, no chance. I'm not trying to pick this up, just recover it. Let that clock wind down, force their other timeout. We'll still work that clock down, and Berwick will have to go the length of the field.
3rd and long. Loss of 12 on that play. And the Cougars, 1:26 to go. Berwick out of timeouts. 3rd and long. Wolfe, toss sweep to Bookman. He hands to Casadas. Casadas turns the corner. The 25, still on his feet. The 20, trying to stay in bounds. Good effort on his part, and I think he did.
He may have. The clock is still running.
Boy, that's a headsy play on his part. But you could see him desperately trying to stay in bounds as he turned the corner toward that sideline. Picked up 8 on the play. He is one good football player.
Yes, he is.
In fact, Casadas and Wolfe are two of the smallest players on the field for the Cougars, but they have been huge in this game.
They have. Down in distance, it'll be 4th and about 12 to get the chains, but they've kept the clock running. They may even take a delay of game here, Jim. They may not have to take a snap on 4th down until 32 seconds are left.
They use a timeout. Berwick will be on the road next week. Harold L. Bolig Memorial Field in Selinsgrove. Take on the Seals. That game was a victim of the pandemic last year. Was taken off the schedule. And the Seals tomorrow will look for their first win when they play at Kent Memorial Stadium against Shamokin area. Bulldogs try to get back on the winning track. This is a disappointment because it started so well for Berwick, particularly on the offensive side, but nothing on the board in this second half. Hazleton area lining up as if to kick a field goal with 32 seconds. This is dangerous. This could be blocked and returned.
Could be. I don't think I would do it.
From the 29, Berwick jumped across, and they're going to give Hazleton area a first down.
No, it's 4th and 12, Jim. But they'll give them 5 yards and make the field goal an easier attempt. I'm with you. I don't think I'd line up to kick this. I'd be happy with the 7-point lead. A comfortable play on 4th down that, turn it over to Berwick. Give them the ball around the 15-yard line with time for about 2 or 3 plays. I am with you. A bad snap that Berwick can pick up and run. A block kick that Berwick might be able to get. Shows an awful lot of confidence in this field goal unit that I wouldn't have.
34-yard field goal attempt. Shimani with the hold. Snap is high. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. No good with 28 seconds to go, so Berwick does get the full football back with no timeouts remaining.
No timeouts. It'll be all passing, Jim. Is he going to be able to pass from the shotgun? We haven't seen Bruce Hartman re-enter the game. Block is probably not comfortable as the backup center doing that. Will we see quarterback Matt Lonzinski take it with that drop-back action he may need? He looked good in the action, but downfield, we'll see what they go. Hazleton's been putting some pretty good pressure on the quarterback here in the second half of this game.
Yeah, their defense has come out in the second half and played much better.
Yeah, some stand-up performances. Ball will be over on the far hash. Nope, they moved it to the middle of the field after the missed field goal.
Ball at the Berwick 20-yard line. Matt Lonzinski will operate out of the shotgun. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Has the snap, drops back to throw, fires. The ball is picked off, I believe, at the 28-yard line. That's a terrific interception by Ryan Matthews. The ball intended for Betty Noor, and Matthews, with a dive, picks off the pass, and that should do it with 22.3 seconds to go.
Yeah, they can go into the victory formation, take kneel downs with people surrounding them, Jim, and enjoy a big victory for them after starting it out 0-2 on the season, and with Berwick having all the advantages at halftime in the stats, they somehow manage to pull this one out.
Hazleton area will use a timeout. Cougars going to get their second straight win over the Bulldogs. Last year was 30-25 at Harmon Geis. This one's going to be 21-14, so good football games. Berwick had dominated this series. They had won 10 in a row prior to that Cougar breakthrough. So the young head coach, Dennis Bookman, going to be 2-0 against Berwick. And well, when you start, you can talk about the caliber of the opposition, which they faced in the first 2 weeks, and it was formidable. But, boy, you're staring at 0-3 if you don't come out of Crispin Field with a win. So this is a big win for them and a good second-half effort.
It was a very good effort. In the first half, they finessed some things to keep it at 14-14. They took advantage of some Berwick mistakes. I think there was some very good play calling, where you have limited ability. You really don't have a power running game. You're not going to make that happen.
Wolfe will take a snap and take a knee, and the clock will wind down, and that will do it. The final score here, Crispin Field. Hazleton area 21, Berwick 14. Stay with us. The post game will have the scoring, the stats, and a look at other scores. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Lehigh Valley Health Network has some great news for residents of Greater Hazleton and surrounding communities. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is now located in the Humboldt Industrial Park at Station Circle in Hazel Township. Their orthopedics and sports medicine experts provide complete orthopedic care and accept most insurances, including Geisinger Gold. LVPG, Hazleton Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, your partners in orthopedic care. To learn more, visit lvhn.org/orthopedics or call 570-861-8710.
Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, is where you'll find Kyocera and CopyStar copy machines, service, and supplies. Think Tri-County Business Machines for office supplies and furniture, along with printers, fax machines, scanners, and even cash registers. Check out Tri-County's Copy Center for copying, scanning, and printing. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton. Call them 570-459-0754. Tri-County Business Machines, family owned since 1969.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Cougars of Hazleton area gathered around head coach Dennis Bookman down below to our left, celebrating their first win of the season as they win it 21-14 here at Crispin Field. Berwick scored on their second possession, a 10-play, 83-yard drive, which is the Independence Ford drive of the game. Aiden Mason came up big on that drive. He caught a pass, 15 yards. He ran from scrimmage for 23 yards. Biggest play was a 31-yard pass completion from Matt Lenzinski to Benny Knorr, setting up Aiden Mason's 4-yard touchdown run. With 2:54 to go in the first, Brendan Hinkle had the extra point. Berwick took a 7-0 lead. Hazleton area came back in just 3 plays. A 59-yard run by Ryan Matthews, and 2 plays later, a 15-yard pass from Tyler Wolfe to Matthews. Luke Russo with the extra point. 7-all was the score with 1:38 to go in the first. Berwick then got a 40-yard kick return from Dre Wilkes, setting the Bulldogs up at their own 43. And then a 54-yard pass completion from Matt Lenzinski to Spencer Kishbaugh, setting up another 4-yard touchdown run by Aiden Mason late that quarter as Berwick, after the Hinkle extra point, took the lead of 14-7. In the second quarter, Hazleton area at their Berwick 45, 4th and 3. Tyler Wolfe was stopped by the Berwick defense. Later, though, in that quarter, Matt Casadas intercepted Matt Luzinski, returned to the Berwick 38-yard line. 3 plays later, Wolfe hit Casadas, erased 31 yards for the score. Luke Russo with the extra point. Score was tied at 14. Berwick came back from their own 41. They drove to the 19-yard line of Hazleton area with just 5.1 seconds to go. But the field goal attempt failed. Score was tied at 14 at the half. Berwick with a big total of 244 total yards in offense at the half, but we were locked in a 14-14 tie. And then what turned out to be the only scoring of the second half came with 1:54 to go in the third. Tyler Wolfe with a 6-yard run, capping a 7-play, 62-yard drive. Luke Russo with the extra point gave the Cougars their first lead at 21-14. Berwick had one great opportunity in the fourth, driving from their own 27 to the 26-yard line of Hazleton area. With their starting center, Bruce Hartman, out, the Bulldogs went to a power offense, I formation. Aiden Mason doing much of the running and doing it effectively, but he was stopped short on 4th and 2, and Hazleton area goes on and wins this one by a final of 21-14. We'll take a look at stats with Andy Lichty and scores with Raven Klein. When we return, you're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapac about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Don's Towing on Route 11 in Bloomsburg can handle any tow, whether it's a car or big rig, 24/7. Don's has roadside assistance, and your satisfaction is their priority. They always have a truck available, and you'll never wait more than 20 minutes to be picked up and on your way again. Don't let a flat tire ruin your day. Don's Towing will help you get where you need to go without breaking the bank. They accept all insurances, and those that pay out of pocket will appreciate their low prices. Don's Towing, Route 11, Bloomsburg, or check out their Facebook page.
The medicine Medicine Shop.
The Berwick Medicine Shop at their new location. 500 Fowler Avenue, Berwick has your favorite pharmacist team, like Kim, who you've trusted for more than 20 years, and they've gotten even better. Free blister packs, free home delivery with no tips, and less than a 15-minute average wait time on prescriptions. Why would you go to the big box pharmacies where you might wait for days? Go to the name you know and trust, the Medicine Shop of Berwick, and follow their Facebook page. Berwick Medicine Shop proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs.
It's the Labor Day sales event all month long, so that means you can get a fantastic deal at Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And between their two locations, they have whatever car, truck, or SUV you're looking for.
Find it at Fairfield.
Stop in and take a look at the newly redesigned Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Ready for on and off-road trails with plenty of room for people and packages. Drive home a brand new 2021 Jeep Renegade, just $25,700. Or how about a 2021 Ram 2500, just $47,500. Check out their ad in the Web Weekly this week for more incredible deals.
Find it at Fairfield.
Stop in and see the Kaiser Boys on Route 405 in Muncie or Dan Goldman on Route 11 in Danville. Fairfield for fantastic deals.
Offers on select vehicles for qualified buyers only. Not all will qualify. Must finance through Chrysler Capital. All offers end September 30th. See dealer for complete details.
Find it at Fairfield.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
21-14, the final here from Crispin Field. The Bulldogs losing out to the Cougars of Hazleton area. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Ligny.
Well, Berwick had Hazleton doubled at halftime in total offense. Only puts up about 40 yards of second half offense as Hazleton's defense tightens and finds a way to win this one. I have Berwick at 274 yards. I have Hazleton with 288 yards to jump ahead. For Hazleton, 35 carries for 147 net yards. They lost 12 on a bad snap from the center that they had to fall on, so the team suffers that. But they had 159 yards rushing after having just 74 at half. Matthew Bookman did a nice job, just 7 yards at halftime, but finishes with 14 carries and 58 yards. Some very significant runs when his team really needed them. Ryan Matthews, the fullback, often in games could seem invisible, but not in this one. A 59-yard burst early, caps that drive off with a touchdown catch of 15 yards. He finishes with three runs for 63 yards. Matthew Casatis, impressive, very impressive athlete, has great speed, ran the ball out of the jet sweep formations and reverses 7 times for 32 yards, and you'll couple that with his 49 yards receiving. I mentioned the team took a kneel down, and there's also 12 yards on a bad snap. And then Tyler Wolfe, the quarterback. Nice job game managing, nice job throwing the ball. In the running department, some timely quarterback draws. With the sacks he suffered, he'll finish with 7 carries for 6 yards total. Add them all up, do that math, you get 147 yards in the running game, a team that was averaging just 26 yards per game via the rush. Passing, I have Tyler Wolfe with 10 completes in 16 attempts, a very nice percentage. No interceptions, and that's a key. 141 yards in the air. Most of it in the second half, just 48 yards passing in the first half. They finished with 141. One of the reasons is they got involved with their star receiver, Connor Shimani. Shimani had no first half catches. Here in the second half, 4 for 71. Not to be outdone. Matthew Casatis, part of that great duo of receivers. We mentioned his running. 4 catches for 49 yards for him. Ryan Matthews, 15-yard touchdown catch in the first half. Matthew Buckman caught 1 for 6 to round out the receiving core. So again, 141 in the air, 147 on the ground, a wonderful balance. Nice play by the entire team and really came together well in the second half. For Berwick, I have them with 125 yards net rushing, 149 in the air, which is where they were at halftime. No completes in the second half. A total of 274 yards. On the ground, it was Aiden Mason. They used him in that power running position. They had him run 23 times for 118 yards. Benny Knorr, sometime in the Wildcat, sometime on jet sweep, 7 carries for 17. Dre Wilk on 2 jet sweep actions, 10 yards on 2 carries. Ryan Bankus just 1 first-half carry for 1 yard. And Matt Lonzinski suffered 2 sacks, lost 21 yards on that. So 146 positive, minus 21, 125 positive yards for Berwick. I have Lonzinski at passing 9 of 16 with the 2 interceptions for the 149 yards. 0 for 3 in the second half with an interception. Berwick just didn't have that many second-half plays, only about 11 by my count. In the receiving game, same as halftime with the stats. Dre Wilk, 3 for 34 yards. Benny Knorr, 2 catches for 42. Braden Boone caught 1 for 3 yards. Spencer Kishpa had a nice game receiving, 3 catches for 75 yards. And Aiden Mason out of the backfield for a 15-yard catch. 149 in the air, 125 on the ground. 274 for Berwick, who had doubled up on offensive numbers over Hazleton at halftime. Finishes behind them at the end of the game. Their 274 compares unfavorably to the 288 that Hazleton was able to muster. Jim, a rather interesting game. We like competitive games, but for the Berwick fans, this is a sad loss.
It is, to rack up that many yards in the first half and just not able to get it going in the second half. 21-14 is the final here. For an update on other scores on weekend number 3 of this high school football season, let's go to Raven Klein.
Thank you very much, Jim. In high school football tonight, all of these scores are final. Southern Columbia wins over Loyalsock 51-15. Troy beat Central Columbia 35-7. Central Mountain wins over Bloomsburg 21-16.
108.
Williamsport wins over Mifflin County 24-2. Tunkhannock beat Crestwood 29-21. Piston Area beats Wyoming Valley West 16-13. Dallas wins over Wilkes-Barre Area 45-0. Wyoming Area beat Nanticoke 47-13. Milton wins over Holy Redeemer 35-12. North Schuylkill wins over Jim Thorpe 28-7. In overtime, Jersey Shore beat Montoursville 27-20. And last but not least, Montgomery wins over Warrior Run 46-13. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Raven. Here with the victory, their first of the season, Hazleton Area goes to 1-2. They'll be home against Pittston Area next Friday night. For the Bulldogs, they'll take a 1-2 record on the road to Selinsgrove. That game next Friday starts at 7 o'clock. As usual, our coverage starts at 6 with the Coach DeFrancesco show. And final again this evening, Hazleton Area 21, Berwick 14. For Andy Ulickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLM.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickasha. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Wells's Towing and Repair, Towing Recovery and Lockout Services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Overhead Door Company of Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Don's Towing Truck and Trailer Repair, Route 11 in Berwick. MD Accounting and Consulting, your hometown CPA firm. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your partner for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Danville. The Berwick Medicine Shop, now at 500 Fowler Avenue in Berwick. And by Name Brand Liquidations in the Berwick Plaza on Route 11. HLM is the Valley Sports Leader.